And we are live. It's Friday night. It's that time of the week where we become little agony aunts, don't we? And we listen to the crowd, we listen to the subscribers, and we just all sit around and shit, really, don't we? But yeah, it's that time of the week. Friday night pint live. I'm joined by Scott and Dan. Graham's not here tonight. He's away. Nicky might join us. He's running a bit late. He said if he can log on, he will. But how you been? How you been, boys? All right?
Feeling good, mate. I've had been gym, swim, and a steam room today, and jacuzzi. So I'm feeling relaxed. I'm feeling good.
Are your steam rooms open then?
Yeah, they just opened.
Mine ain't open in the gym. Yeah, it's one thing I miss is a nice sauna or a steam. Nothing better than after a proper gym session, you just get in the steam room.
It's lovely. It's lovely.
Or after a big piss up on a Friday, you go to the gym and sit in the steam room for 2 hours and sweat it all out.
Sweat out the alcohol.
Best way to do it.
Bloody hot, man. I've never been in a sauna or steam room before, and you see, it's hot. It is really hot. I thought it was supposed to be relaxing. I'm in there. I'm thinking, oh my god, how much longer? Like trying to stop myself from running out.
Yeah.
Anyway, what you drinking, Scott? What you got, mate?
I'm back on Bud Lights.
Still trying to get rid of that case from 2 years ago.
Yes, mate. Yes.
Dan, what are you drinking, mate? What
what have I got? I've got some rum.
What's he got here?
I've still got my rum.
He's digging something out.
Still got me Jack Sparrow's rum.
I sort of joined. I'm joining Dan on the spirits, and I've gone for a nice vodka. Well, I say double. I think it's about half a bottle in there, like and Coke. So. I fancy something different tonight instead of a beer.
Why not, mate? Why not?
It's a Friday. It's a late kick-off tomorrow, isn't it? 5:30. We ain't got to get up early.
Well, some of us have. Only for another. How many months have I got left? 10 months, I think. Then it all changes. So.
Well,
loads of people in the chat. Thank you for joining us, wherever you are in the world. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It might even be Saturday where you are. Who knows? There might be some people in Australia and New Zealand. But, I mean, where should we start? I think there's only one place to start really in now, and it's the unfortunate news we're all dreading about Antonio. Looks like he pulled out for 4 weeks. Now, you know me, I always try to find some sort of positive in something, but... If anyone can find one sort of positive, it is a grade 2 hamstring injury and he's out for 4 weeks and there's an international break. So he might only miss Liverpool and Fulham. So that's the only positive, but I'm gutted. I'm absolutely gutted that with Van Dijk and Fabinho being out tomorrow, that Antonio ain't going to have a chance at Anfield to exploit their back four.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? It's what we've been... praying and dreading, praying that won't happen. And, again, he's playing well. He's in a good run of form. And that poxy hamstring again. Always sees these hamstrings. And by the sounds of it, he felt it against Spurs. Yeah. And then they still played against Liverpool, against City. And it worries me a bit that, if they'd rested him for the City game, he'd be available for this game. It's I don't know, it sort of reeks of Andy Carroll rushing him to be fit when he's not fit, you know what I mean? Just quickly,
I was going to mention this obviously at the end of the show, but while we've all got a drink, I think we should all raise our glasses to Nobby Styles that sadly passed away today. Another 66 World Cup hero gone. Not many more left now. Obviously national treasures, heroes. And rest in peace. Very sad news.
You have to take a swig after you raise a glass. Or
I'll take a swig.
It's very, very sad to hear a passing of him.
Yeah, very sad. I mean, we'll talk a bit more about Nobby Styles and the England heroes towards the end of the show. But I mean, as you were saying, Scott, go on, carry on, mate.
Yeah, no, that's what worries me, the fact that he doesn't trust anyone else that much, that we're making Antonio play through the pain barrier, and it's not good for him. We know he's had a history of hamstring injuries. I know this is I think this is the first muscle injury we've had this season, isn't it?
Yeah, well, do you know what I mean? The thing is, it might be a bit of both. I mean, with the form that Antonio's in, he might have wanted to play. He might have been playing his injury down a bit. It's unfortunate, we know with Antonio. I mean, so I'm surprised we've gone this long a run without him getting injured. And he's been in the form of his life. He's turned himself into a proper striker. And tomorrow we have to approach this game differently now, because it looks like Helera's just slot in for Antonio. We'll still play the same formation with Fornals and Bowen. But the problem is that Helera's not going to do what Antonio does. He's not going to look over the top and look for them runs, and he's not going to add that. He's not going to want to get in a one-on-one with a defender. But this is where Fornals and Bowen now have to step up their game for Helera to join him up there, because we know if that ball goes in there, Helera's winning it. He don't lose many headers. So them flick-ons, you've got to look for Fornals, Bowen to pick them up.
Well, see, I said in the preview, right, the stick, the five at the back is working really well. So we can't really change that, but we can change it further forward. We could go for a 3 in midfield with Souček and Rice as the two sort of holding midfielders, as playing their natural game. Bring Fornals in and playing behind the front two, and I think stick Bowen up top with Helera. Because if you've then got that big man, little man combination, because like you said, Helera's not going to run the channels, right? Yeah. Helera's going to try and hold up the ball, bring other people in play, and like you said, play it long to him. If it's a flick on, 9 times out of 10 he's going to win it. Bowen's movement off the ball will benefit Helera playing up front with him, if you get what I mean. Moving him into that position, get him to play off of Helera. It puts a lot of pressure on Masuaku and Soufal playing on the wings, because they're going to have a hell of a lot of work to do. But it just gives us that bit more option, especially with the fact that you're going to have possibly two inexperienced centre-backs playing for Liverpool.
Yes, I would go for that, Scott. I think that's probably the best way. And if you're going to play it long, better than when he's up front by himself. And the thing is, you saw when he come on at Man City, look how deep we was sitting, right? And of course we were, because they, of course, have world-class players and they brought De Bruyne on. But to expect Helera to do something where we're all sat deep behind the ball and he's up front isolated on his own, we're not going to get anything out of him by doing that. And if we do that against Liverpool, it's not going to work. It's going to be corners, the corner and stuff is where he's going to threaten. We need to get the balls, whip the balls in quick into the box, and that's where he thrives. Look at the goals that he scored in the past. Yeah,
and that's the thing. It's just because Helera's not that type of player that's going to run the channels. He's a completely different style of player to what Antonio is, and this is why I just think putting Bowen up top with him, then you've got a player that's going to run the channels. Then you've got your strength, you've got your strong player who can hold the ball up, bring others into play. And as I said, you've got your Bowen who's got that pace, who's got that bit of skill about him, who's not, he's not scared to take on a defender, and he'll beat a defender. And I just think just having them two could work, because I think if it's just a straight swap, same system, Antonio for Helera, it's not going to work.
Yeah, and I think people need to realise that.
I agree, and this is where David Moyes does get his critics, and I think that's up like that tomorrow. Look, if it works out, then fair play to him. But I do think he has to mix it up a bit, and I agree. Moving Bowen up top with Helera might work. I actually like Bowen out on the wings. I like the way he cuts in, but for tomorrow to play up top with Helera, because Helera can't play up top on his own. He can if he's got people around him that get there, to play off him. But it's a good time to go to Anfield. I'm confident going there. Liverpool at the moment, they're still a great team. Don't get me wrong. They've got players that can damage us. And if we switch off for 2 seconds, we'll find ourselves a goal down. They've got players that can punish the best teams in the world. But us going there tomorrow, even though, I probably would have been a lot more confident if Antonio was playing, but I'm still confident in the players that we've got, that we can go there and get a result. And even nicking a point at Anfield, I say nicking a point, but getting a point at Anfield, it will still be a great point.
Yeah, of course, exactly. Clear, this one, I know we don't go to the comments, but Cliff just said here, would you risk Yarma with Bowen and Fornals around him? So straight swap with Yarmolenko coming in for Helera. You know, that's another option we got because, as we said in the past, Yarmolenko plays that striker role for the Ukraine, so it could possibly work sticking him there again.
I mean, Yarmolenko last week. I mean, we all sat there on post-match pint and we sort of slated his performance, which he looked like his head was all over the place, and it sort of made sense when his missus give birth the next day. So you can sort of forgive him for probably thinking he'd probably rather have been with his missus than on the pitch. So it looks like he was rushing everything, wasn't he?
Yeah, and that's what the commentator said on when he said he's trying to do the right things, but nothing he was trying was coming off. You know, and that's probably what it was. Like you said, his missus is, you know, practically about to give birth. He wants to play the game. He wants to do well for the team, and you know that he tried the right things, but he just got everything wrong. Everything he tried, it was one of them games. You know, it was one of them. He could be through one open goal with through on goal with no one in the goal, and he'd probably miss it. It was just one of them days that it wasn't going to be his night. You know,
I think how we set up tomorrow, it has to be in a way that lends itself to a counter attack, because we know we're not going to have a lot of the ball, right? And we know we're going to be defending deep, so we need to have a system that allows us to counter fairly quickly. Which is why I like the Bowen thing, because if Bowen can get the ball down there and he can do some of that work rate, and then Ale gets down there, and it's obviously more designed for an Antonio or someone like that, but I think that's why that works. I think Yarmolenko is a very skillful player, but he's another player who don't have much pace.
Would you maybe like to see Benrahma giving his full debut? You know, empty Anfield, no pressure on him. You know, go there against the best team in England at the moment, and give him his chance. Or do you think maybe he might make the bench and come on?
I fully expect him to make the bench and come on. As I said, again, it's very similar to the situation Bowen found himself in when he first come to the club. You know, he brought him in very, very slowly, and it seems to be doing the same with Benrahma. And you know, it works with Bowen. You know, there's no rush to put Benrahma in. I look at it, this game against Liverpool is a bonus point if we get anything out of it. You know,
let's be honest, the last 8 points have been bonus points because we never thought we was going to get them.
Yeah, and that's it. You know, but I look at this game. This game tomorrow is, we're in good form. You know, we've got our best player at the moment on form wise injured. They've got their centre halves missing. If we had Antonio, I'd be thinking, we can go and get the 3 points and we'd make it a bit more comfortable. But I just feel that this one is, if we get anything out of this game, it's a bonus. Fulham is the key game. You know, Fulham's the game where all this hard work we've put in building up to that game, for us to go to Fulham and get beat is a massive downer on everything we've just worked for. The 8 points that we've just grafted for to lose to Fulham, you know, that's the problem for me.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah, it'd be definitely disappointing. But I mean, one thing I can see tomorrow, and I think we probably would have worked on a lot in training, is taking advantage of having the height of someone like Souček as well, because I think we are going to look to play balls into their box. You know, beat them in there, especially with them not having their two fully fit centre backs. It's a massive opportunity for us to go to Anfield. You know, we don't go there often. We've won there once in 60 years. You know, it's ridiculous, that record. So hopefully we can go there tomorrow. And as I said, players like Souček tomorrow are going to be important for us, and Declan Rice as well, because Declan Rice will look to get that ball on the floor and he'll look to switch play as soon as he gets it off of the one of the back four, just to switch it out to someone like Fornals or Bowen, you know.
Yeah, that's the thing. We need to set ourselves up to try and win some set pieces, you know, whether it's taking in some shots from outside the box and hopefully, you know, one of their players deflects it for a corner or the keeper, or trying to get onto the ball and hold onto the ball and win some free kicks. And I think that's what we need to look to do, so we can punish them from set pieces, because I think that's been our strength.
Yeah, we need. I'll tell you what we need. Whoever plays up top, we need them to do what Hernandez used to do and draw the foul. You know, draw the foul in areas where we can afford to get the ball into the box. You know, Hernandez was very, very good at drawing the foul. when he did play up top on his own, he made sure that the players just nudged him in the back. As soon as he felt that nudge, he went down, wins the free kick, gives everyone a breather, and then you can push forward a bit. And now with the likes of Souček, Rice, Bonner, Balbuena and Haller, we've got a lot of aerial threat. So any fouls or free kicks in and around the edge of that box, you've got to fancy us, especially with the inexperienced centre-half who's going to be coming in. Look, the kid that's going to come in, if it's Williams, he's not a bad player. He's a decent player. It's just the fact that we've got to put pressure on up there because that's an inexperienced back line.
Well, I just see on Sky Sports News that apparently he might be injured for tomorrow. He's having a fitness test, So,
because I heard Gomez could be injured as well.
Well, Alisson's back, isn't he? Which, he's a great goalkeeper. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, they've got their injury problems at the moment, and this is what I'm saying. It could be time to take advantage of that situation. As I said, look, Liverpool's forward line, you can't deny us up there with the best in the world. As I said, we switch off them. Our back five switch off for 2 seconds. That's it. They will punish us big time. Yeah. So they've got to be on it from the beginning to the end. Just like we was against City, we had to soak up a lot of pressure in that second half, and you got to expect it against teams like City. Teams like City, they have most games they have 75-80% of the ball. That's what teams like that. They've got the best players in the world that can do that. But it's the way we soaked it up, and we defended so well last week, and we deserved the point. Yeah,
and the thing is, when you look at the stats over the last few games, I don't think we've really had more than 40% possession in the entire games that we've played, even the ones that we've won. So it's what we're doing with the ball has been the big key. And it's just again, like with City, as we said, it was the same when we played the likes of Arsenal and things like that. They've got forward lines that can hurt you, and we saw that with City. They've got a forward line that can hurt you. The players they've got to bring off the bench attacking wise is better options than what we've got. So I just think just approach it the same way, same work rate from everyone, tinker with the system a little bit, and just give it a go.
Well, I think the positive is we've got this the back three or back five now that we've been having, and they've played, like I said, all these games from Arsenal to Spurs to City, all these games where they have been under pressure, and now maybe they've got that part where they've got that understanding of each other and they know what to do in them situations now. Obviously they can pull out a bit of brilliance anywhere, but it gives me a little bit more confidence that we're not dealing with a chop and changed up back line, and they have had to go for all of that. So it should just be, they should be in the zone for that and be expecting that and ready for it.
And the thing is as well, Fabianski against City, pulled off 2 great saves, and that's the thing now, that he's going to get more confidence. He's got a lot more confidence in the front line, the back line, in front of him. So it breeds confidence in him, and it's good to see, right. I personally, Foden's goal, I thought he could have done a bit better. I may be being a bit harsh, but I personally thought he could have done a bit better with that. But what he did after that was brilliant, and that is good. That, as I said, we've got the confidence now in, you can sit there, you're soaking up pressure, you're not leaking goals. Right, we did leak goals against Spurs, but we had the ability to come back. We've got to be, we tightened up a lot more against City.
And don't forget, we scored 3 goals against Spurs without Antonio on the pitch.
Exactly.
So it proves we can score goals without him.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And that's the thing. There's goals there because, as I said, the aerial threat that we have, the other players that we have. If you look, if we get to the 70th minute and you've got Bowen who's probably going to start, you've got Fornals, you've got Haller, then you're bringing on, you've got Yarmolenko, you've got Lanzini. If he's on the bench, you've got Benrahma. We've got a lot of attacking players ourselves who can go on and get a goal. So Liverpool going to be worried about us as much as we're worried about them.
Yeah, I mean, let's talk a little bit about Sebastian Haller. Obviously, hasn't seen much Premier League action this season, obviously with the form of Antonio. But in the Cup, he was scoring freely until we got knocked out. But, I mean, I see Dan tweet out a little while ago about Haller, and he has got his haters and that. And I agree. There's a lot of people that seem to get on his back. He's got this big price tag, and we expected him to be our 20-goal-a-season striker, and it didn't work out for him. But I think that's because we didn't play to his strengths. Sometimes he looks lazy, he looks arrogant, but I think that's just him. Arnautovic was the same, but Arnautovic, he turned himself into a top striker. But this might be a good time for Haller because it might be a blessing in disguise that Antonio's going to be out for a couple of games. So it's his time now to, you know, what if imagine we go there tomorrow and he gets a couple of goals, you know, and then he plays against Fulham, he gets himself another goal and he's confident, you know, then can you bring Antonio straight back into the team when you've got Haller scoring goals? It's a difficult one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. If he does come in and do well, then you can't bring Antonio straight back in. You know, you've got, and that's what we need. We need, because we don't want to have to bring Antonio. We go there tomorrow and get a Tonkin, and he has an absolute mare. Then Antonio, you know, he might be fit for Fulham. We're trying to rush him back, to get him in. Don't want to see that. We need Antonio needs time to rest. So if Haller goes and gets the goal against Liverpool, bags a brace against Fulham, if Antonio's fit for Sheffield United, he sits on the bench. Haller starts, because we need a way to give Antonio a rest. Because as we said all the way back when, you know, after lockdown, we can't rely on Antonio because of his injury record.
Yeah.
And we need our other players, our other strikers, to step up. And Haller's the only one we've got.
One thing as well is, you know, would it be a massive surprise if Haller did not start tomorrow?
Not really. Not for me.
Because what would that do for his confidence if he didn't start tomorrow? And just say, for instance, if Moyes started Bowen up front and maybe started Lanzini, you know, or Benrahma, just say Lanzini or Benrahma or Yarmolenko, one of them. You know, imagine that Haller would feel, you know, being the only striker at the club and he can't even get on. He can't even start when Antonio's injured.
It's going to be a kick in the nuts, isn't it? Let's be honest, because
that's a massive kick in the nuts. That's a kick in both nuts.
Yeah,
that's a kick in the nuts as well.
You can sit there and say, well, you know, he's not really a lone striker. So, but then to play Bowen up top, all right, Bowen's going to work the channels, but he's not going to hold the ball up.
Yeah, he's never really looked very effective up front, Bowen, like as a striker. He's always been the best. When I've ever seen him have really good games, it's always been on the wing. I've never really seen him be very effective.
But we've got to remember as well is that Bowen was a striker for Hull. So maybe, you know,
maybe it's a different system with Hull.
I prefer him out on the wings. I think he's much better cutting inside and getting a ball in the box or having a strike. I like Bowen in that position. But yeah, that would be a massive that would dent Haller's confidence massively.
And I think he's probably already dealing with a little bit of confidence issues. You know, he's had times where he's not been brought on until late in the game, and he's had other people who aren't strikers come on for strikers and things like that. I think he's dealing with that already. And I think what people need to do going into this game is have a bit of patience, because you know, he's gonna come into this game. But if it don't work out, surely a player needs a few games to grow in and actually get used to the system, rather than he's been playing in the cup with a different set of players in a different way against different opposition. Surely he actually needs some time and give him
and the thing is as well is that Haller hasn't had many minutes with this first team. He hasn't played with some of these players. Like, he hasn't played a lot with Souček, Bowen, Fornals, you know, all in the same system. So, and Declan Rice. So, and Masuaku as well. Masuaku's he's got to be up there with one of the players of the season so far for West Ham. He's one of the most improved players. I mean, I remember last season's prediction videos. I said Masuaku was going to be most improved player. Well, what I meant was not that season. I meant this season. But no, honestly, he's one of the confidence he's got, Masuaku, now on the ball. You know, just taking people on. And that's what we all knew. We've all sat here and each one of us have said that we know he can do it. I mean, he's got over 100 appearances for West Ham. I couldn't believe that. I couldn't believe that stat.
And he could be key for Haller, I think, Masuaku.
He seems to have worked on his delivery, hasn't he?
And now you've got Kufal or Tufal, wherever you say it. Everyone says it different. But he likes to get down and get a ball in the box. So...
Exactly. And the thing is as well, right, we said about Haller, you know, when he was at Frankfurt, most of the time he played as a free attacking wise. Now we've got Benrahma. Could you see Haller, Benrahma and Bowen as the attacking free to find
maybe against Fulham?
Yeah, see, this is what I'm thinking. Fulham would be a good way to sort of tinker with the system and try and get the free up front type thing. Because at the moment, we play more of a 5-4-1, don't we? You know, I know Bowen and Fornals get forward, but it's more 5-4-1. Perhaps against Fulham, I know I'm looking beyond the game on Saturday, but you could put Benrahma and Bowen up top alongside Haller and just go for the juggler from the start.
It's like you recreate the sort of system he had when he was at Frankfurt and banging goals for fun. You know, as part of that front
you still have the 5 at the back, so you sort of have a 5-2-3 formation. So when we're on the attack, it's a 3-4-3. But defensively, it's a 5-2-3.
2 seconds.
Go on.
Oh, Jadon Sancho here. West Ham for title discuss. If you say we can win it, you're going to be more deluded than AFTV.
We can win it! No, I'm joking.
Of course we can win it. We won't.
Anyone can win it, but will they win it?
Yeah, of course we ain't going to win it. Not this season anyway. Maybe next season. I'm joking, by the way. But, I mean, listen, speaking of Benrahma, I'm excited. I'm hoping that it'd be nice to see him named on the bench tomorrow. And it'd be nice to see him getting some game time because I'm excited to see him play. You know, I'm excited to see him pull on the West Ham shirt and show us what he can do and if he can take that step up from the Championship. Because, listen, he set the Championship alight. He was the best player in the Championship. And as I said the other week, we've bought the best 2 players from the Championship in the last 3 or 4 seasons in Bowen and Benrahma. So to get them both, you know, we've seen what Bowen can do. He steps up to the Premier League level. Yep. We know he can do it. Benrahma, if he can step up and show us what he can do and perform week in, week out, then as I said, when we signed him, we've got one hell of a player there, and he could be key for Haller as well. You know,
and as much as obviously Moyes has said he don't want to rush him in, and we sort of understand that because with Bowen, I think it's important to try and get him some minutes in the Premier League and get him used.
Oh yeah, massively.
So even if it is on as a sub, you know, in 80th minute or so, start to integrate him. If you don't want to start him, then let's start to get him some minutes, and then he can adapt.
I think what Moyes does is he takes a player like that, and by not rushing him in, he reduces all the hype around him.
Yeah.
You know, you think all the hype when you sign him. Same as when we signed Bowen, there was a lot of hype around Bowen because he was such a good player in the Championship. Yeah. Same as Benrahma. If you leave him out for a couple of games, it takes the pressure off. You chuck him in for that first game, and all that hype, and all the fans are on. You know,
the expectancy as well, isn't it?
Exactly. If you leave him out and then bring him on for 10, 15, there's no pressure on him. You know, it's like, right, go on, you've got 15 minutes, go do what you can do. If he hits the ground running, brilliant. If he has a poor 15 minutes, everyone sits there and goes, oh, well, come on late, he's got to adjust into the game, adjust playing with the players. So it takes a lot of pressure off the player to come in and do something. And
it's true. If you chuck them in straight away after you've signed, there is that sort of like, here's the star signing who's going to take this team forward, and all the pressure and all the focus is on that signing where, and people in the media would have been talking about him, but I think it's over time, it sort of eased off, and I think you're spot on, Scott. I think the pressure definitely is, gone down.
So,
massively. The only thing is, the other thing as well is that with you remember last season we had a great start to the season and then Fabianski got injured and then the season sort of went down. I don't feel as if that's going to happen. I see a few people tweet out during the week that if Antonio's out, then that's it. You know, we're back in a relegation battle. But I don't see that. I think we've got enough quality to come in and replace Antonio. It's just playing to them strengths. I mean, Fabianski was a massive injury last year, and Roberto was a shit replacement. Let's have it right. Yeah. Worst goalkeeper I've ever seen pull on a West Ham shirt. But I just get with Antonio being out, we've got someone like Haller to step in, or you've got someone, even if you have to, you can play Bowen up front, and then you've got players like Lanzini, Benrahma, Fornals, you know, to play off them. So I'm a bit more confident, you know, as much as I want to see, I'd rather see Antonio on the pitch. This is where Moyes will get back his critics if he gets it right and plays the right system, and we can pick up a win at Anfield.
It would massively win me over. Like, look, and I'm really happy with what he's done, and I think this is the big test. It's right. Can you adapt? Can you deal with you know, a key player like Antonio being out and still find a way to select the right tactics and put the right team out? And obviously, if we lose tomorrow, we're not going to judge him harshly, but it's over the next few weeks of, can we deal without Antonio and can he adapt? And I think that's the question. If he can, then we'll still give him that contract. I mean, straight away.
See, the thing is, I think with this game, it's the level of performance that the players put in. If we get beat tomorrow, this is, for me, this isn't the game that you're going to judge Moyes on. for what you're saying with how we deal without Antonio, because we're going up against Liverpool, and Liverpool was always going to be a hard game, even if Antonio was playing. It's the level of performance we put in without him in the side. As I said, the Fulham game is the game where you judge everything, because at the moment Fulham are rock bottom. They can't. They're the team that you've got to be looking at, and we've got to go and put a performance. And what? No disrespect to Fulham and Scotty Parker, they've got a tough job there, and we go there and cause them problems and put the performances that we've seen over the last few weeks in there and get a comfortable win. And that's where you then judge Moyes and what he's doing. If Moyes
go on.
And makes it different there, and we go on and put a couple of goals past Fulham, then you can judge Moyes. You can't really judge him on what happens tomorrow.
Yeah. I think that's why this Liverpool game's probably come at the right time, because it's almost like this is a chance to adjust to playing without Antonio, but without all of the expectation. Whereas if you have Fulham and you're having to try and adjust, and then obviously it's the first game, it don't work, and you lose against Fulham, then all the pressure comes. But if he tries something and it don't work, people still hold their hands up and go, all right, it's Liverpool. You weren't expected to win it. And then
sometimes games like that are a good time to test different systems, because you can. No one's expecting us to go to Anfield and win, really, are they? I've seen the pundits, and most of them are saying we're going to lose tomorrow. So it's a perfect time to maybe rotate the system and try to find another formation that can work without sort of Antonio in it. But Kent Hammers says, I watched Benrahma 20 times last season. He's a real find for us. Got the X factor, door opening player. He's also great at set plays. And I agree. I said the same thing when we signed him. I've seen. I watched quite a lot of the Championship last year, especially Brentford, because we was linked with quite a few of their players. And he is this sort of player that will get you off your seat. And he's got that, a bit like, I'm not comparing him to him, but Pint. You know what Pint used to do? We like seeing people do little flicks. And, we've seen it growing up down the years with players like Di Canio and things like that. But yeah, I'm really excited to see Benrahma. I really hope it don't come back to bite me in the arse and he turns out to be shit. I don't think he's going to be as bad as Gok and Tor. Let me tell you that. And I was excited to see him when we signed him.
I think as well, like fans, have to give him time as well. And if it doesn't click straight away in the few games, sometimes it just takes time, and you can't write off players like that. And I think we should definitely give him a chance, And
I think, and I say this, I think the real fans will give him a chance. The social media fans won't. The social media fans who like to just slate players for the sake of it won't. But real fans know that you can't just step up to the Premier League. And listen, I'm hoping he can. I'm hoping
some players can. Sometimes it was sometimes you can't.
I'm hoping he can. How many players have you seen come up from the Championship and not make it? We've been quite lucky with the players that we've signed. Creswell, Antonio, Bowen.
We took to it straight away. Yeah.
You say Antonio? It took him a little while to adjust to the Premier League.
Yeah, but
I think it was here and there. He was still good. He still had good games, but I think there were certain parts of his game that improved.
Remember his first ever goal for West Ham?
Yeah, when it happened? It came off his arse, or he fell over.
Southampton, wasn't it? He fell over and it hit his head.
Yeah,
it looped in. But he hasn't looked back since then, has he? He's not. How many is he off now, being our top goal scorer in the Premier League? He's not that far off now, is he?
Under 10.
I was looking at the other day. Yeah, I think it was 8.
8, yeah.
This is a good subject, because I see our own very own Mr. Lawless tweet this out about Antonio, that if he takes over Di Canio in the top goal scorer in the Premiership, does he class as a West Ham legend?
So before we get into that, I'm just going to swap places with you, Ryan, because it messes with me when it looks like it looks like I'm just looking away otherwise.
No, that's fair enough, mate.
Yeah, I mean, Scott, do you want to start and take a stab at this? I'm interested in what you guys think about that.
See, now, okay, so when you break legends down, right, legends of clubs are normally people that win a trophy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and put in, Bobby Moore, legend of the club. Billy Bonds, legend of the club, right? Trevor Booking, legends. These are all legends that one thing. I think with clubs like ours that we don't win a trophy that often. Yeah. It's the importance of the player and what he contributes to the club when he's at the club to make him a legend. So Mark Noble is a modern day West Ham legend for us. Because he has been at the club. He's put everything. He's done everything he can to push the club along. And that's how you've got to look at it. Di Canio was a legend for what he brought. Yeah, he's our all-time at the moment Premier League top goal scorer. So yeah,
I think with Di Canio as well is that he's in a lot of players' hearts because not only did he score goals, but his passion, his fight, just how he was as a player. And you're right. I mean, modern day legends, Mark Noble will always go down as a West Ham legend, just because he's Mark Noble. And you look back in the history books in 100 years' time, his name will still be there as the last player to ever captain us at the Bowling Ground and the first at the London Stadium. I mean, people call Tevez a legend. I've never been one to call Tevez a legend. Yes, he was a great player for us, but he had a good 10 games for us.
Yeah.
He helped keep us up. He didn't keep us up single-handedly. He helped keep us up. I don't think he's a legend at West Ham. He's a cult hero like Carlton Cole. Exactly the same.
Exactly. That's the thing. You've got a cult hero, like you said. Tevez. Carlton Cole is a cult hero.
You crack on.
They're not legends. Yeah. And as I said, it's Noble is a legend. How many other players? Di Canio is a legend because they're players that you're going to remember from time and time and time. It's just, as I said, legends are normally players that win things. We don't win a lot. So, you've got to be looking at players. And I think if Antonio does overtake Di Canio's record, you've got to look at him as a club legend.
It's a bit of a fight now, isn't it? Someone's just put there. Let's get it up. Antonio 39, Carlton Cole 41, Noble 46, Di Canio 47. So Mark Noble might even overtake him before Antonio does. But
yeah, I think he probably it depends how much game time is, but he could, and then Antonio could overtake him. Yeah. But yeah, I think he's right.
Karen Big Blue. Tevez West Ham story is legendary, but he's not a legend, if that makes sense. Yes, that's what I'm sort of getting at. That what he done for us was great, but if you look across that whole season, probably 10 games, he sort of 10 to 12 games he turned up for, and he was massive in keeping us up that season. Don't get me wrong, but putting him down as a West Ham legend, I mean, I've seen people say that they dismiss people like Scott Parker, Hammer of the Year 3 times, but they don't, because he went to Tottenham, they don't class him as a West Ham legend. Right?
That's the thing. You're looking at where the player left us for. All right, he went to Spurs. Big deal. He still put.
I think I've been a bit too much in that. I got a bit lively in that one.
He still put his heart and soul into the club when he was there. And
I think to be a legend, your name kind of has to be synonymous with West Ham. Do you know what I mean? So Dick's his name is synonymous with West Ham. Paolo, everyone he's seen as West Ham legend. You look at Noble, obviously synonymous with West Ham, and all our other legends, players that we class legends, Trevor Brooking, all of that. That West Ham, if they're going to be interviewed and they're going to ask about any club, it's West Ham.
It's like when people say Bobby Moore, you don't think, Bobby Moore, Fulham. You straight away think West Ham. And that's what Dan's saying is right. It's when you say these legends' names, you got to automatically think of West Ham. If you said Tevez, most people will probably think of Man United or City or something like that.
The thing is, going back, is people like Tony Cottee. Tony Cottee is a West Ham legend. And that's it. He didn't win anything with the club, but he's one of our
Let's be honest, Scott, no one in the last 40 years, no players ever won. But Cottee, you've got to remember, Cottee was one of the boys of 86, so they come very close to winning the league for us. So that 86 team, everyone involved in that 86 team, they go down as sort of West Ham legends, even though we didn't win anything. I mean, some people are saying like, you could say Pint. I mean, what Pint done for us was more than what Tevez done for us. I know Tevez kept us up, but Pint was consistent over the whole season. But because of the way he left us, people won't remember him as
exactly.
He would have gone down as a West Ham legend.
But I think he's more of a Marseille legend when you look at his career and the appearances he's made.
But you say that you say about Payet, he's always remembered for the way he left. John Hartson, last striker to score 25 goals in a season for us. Serves me right.
Yeah.
What do you remember him for? You don't remember him for that.
Right. I think Sheringham got 20 in the championship.
Yeah. But you don't remember Hartson for the 25 goals he scored in one season. You remember Hartson for booting Berkovic in the face.
Which
I see what you're saying there, but I remember Hartson as a top goal scorer. I do. Yeah, when you say John Hartson, West Ham, people automatically think of when he kicked Berkovic in the head.
Yeah, I don't think that should be his legacy, really.
No, definitely not.
Things like that happen all the time in football, you know.
Yeah.
It's just a bust up, but
you know, and that's the problem. Yeah, when you look at Payet, as I said when I done Miami's 11 on Russie's channel, you look at a player like Payet, all the memories you've got of that last season at Upton Park was because of Payet. You know, everything, no matter how you look at it, everything that happened revolved around Payet.
Yeah, and you know what? The one thing with Payet as well is if you look back on that season, every single player around him stepped their game up.
Yeah,
you know, you remember, there's one game I can pick out now: Arsenal at home when we draw 3-3. Right, Mark Noble, that game was probably one of the best games I've seen Mark Noble play in the West Ham shirt. You look at some of the passing he done. I remember him when the ball come down and he volleyed it, and he played it out onto the wing to Creswell on a volley. That was the confidence. Do you remember that? That was the confidence of having, because he had players like Payet around him, Lanzini. That was his first season in the Premiership. He stepped his game. He was unreal that season. Even the average players of West Ham upped their game that season. And that was all because of one player.
Yeah,
I think he can't be a legend though in my eyes because of at least how he left as well, and there has to be some sort of a bit of mutual love there, you know, between the fans. And I think he turned his back on a lot of that, and like you said, he could have been a legend. And a lot of people, you know, when I was talking about Antonio and I was talking about like some Mark Noble, people were talking about, you know, Moore, Hurst, Peters, they're legends. And here's what I was saying is, I think you have tiers of legends. Like, not everyone, just because we're saying Antonio's a legend, not we're saying we're putting him on the same pedestal as Bobby Moore and saying he's on the same level. There's obviously different levels to this, but, you know, he's still someone you'll go on to consider a legend, same as Mark Noble. We're not going to put Mark Noble next to Bobby Moore and say they're the same.
This is what I was saying about, you know, the legends of the past achieved something massive. You know, Vic Watson will always be a legend because he's our all-time top goal scorer. You know, Bobby Moore is a legend because he's a cup-winning captain and a World Cup winning captain. Billy Bonds is a legend. You know, he's Mr. West Ham. You know, these players are legends because what they achieved for the club. You know, as I said, it's the difference. It's modern day legends are completely different.
I think you take trophies away, they would still be legends though as well.
Yeah, of course.
I think they would. You take away them 2 FA Cups. I think Frank Lampard Senior, Billy Bonds. I think all of them. Take away the trophies, they'd still be legends.
Oh yeah, massive. I mean, Ken Hammers says Payet is the best technical player he's ever seen live at West Ham based on football skills. He was majestic, and I think listen, we can't argue with that. You know, as I've always said, that last season at the Bowling was always going to be special, and we needed something special, and we was gifted Dimitri Payet that season. And when I think of Payet, I don't want to think about what went on after, as much as it hurt us all because we was gutted. Because I remember in the Euros after that summer, and I remember he set alight the European Championships, and when people thought of Payet, they thought of West Ham, and he sort of put us on the world map. And I think deep down he regrets leaving West Ham. I really do. You know, it's a shame that, you know, we don't know what went on behind the scenes. There's rumours of whatever happened, but it's just a shame that, you know, he had to leave the club in the way he did, because he was a great player for us. And you know, when I look back at that season and you watch it on a DVD, it's great to see. Every game that Payet played, he done something. He made things happen.
It's funny talking about legends as well. Managerial legends, we don't have many that you consider legends. Obviously, you've got Greenwood and Lyle, who are definitely massive legends. Billy Bonds isn't so much a legend for his managerial work, more of his football work. But like, there's not many. Obviously, like Harry Redknapp is a massive bone of contention. I mean, he's someone, obviously, he came up through the club, played for us, had some good seasons with the club, but there's a weird relationship with the fans, and I think a lot of Wade fans feel bad, but it's a weird one.
That all comes down to obviously the Billy Bonds thing. That's a big thing with the West Ham fans. But listen, I regard Redknapp as a West Ham legend. He was, you know, he played with some great players. You know, he come come through, and I thought he was a good manager for West Ham, and I've got nothing really bad to say against him. You know, I've been lucky enough to meet him a few times. He's always been good to us, even as kids going to the training ground. He was always good to us. So I've got nothing bad to say against Harry Redknapp, but I know people do have their sort of hatred towards him because of the Billy Bonds thing, and obviously other things that went on at the club. But you know,
yes, it's hard, isn't it, when you've got someone who people put up on the pedestal as, you know, the biggest or second biggest, wherever you factor him in with more, as like, you know, how revered Billy Bonds is and what happened. It's really hard, isn't it? It sort of splits your loyalties, and then obviously most of the time you're going to go towards being on Billy Bonds' side, but obviously it can't take away the career that Harry Redknapp has had with West Ham. You know?
Yeah, obviously it didn't help. Obviously him going to Tottenham as well. Look, at the end of the day, he went to Tottenham years after leaving West Ham. You got to remember, he left West Ham in, what was it, 2001, 2002? So, or it might have been even earlier than that. It might have been 2000, but he was at West Ham a long time. And when people think of Harry Redknapp, they think of West Ham. So, as we were saying, like when you think of when you look at legends like Bobby Moore, you know, 66 World Cup winner, you know, England, West Ham. That's all you think of. No one thinks of Bobby Moore and Fulham or the American team he went to. They think of West Ham. Billy Bonds, Trevor Brooking, Devonshire, that hardly gets mentioned really, but he's another West Ham great. You know, we've had so many greats down the years, you know, and, you know, Clyde Best, another West Ham legend. You know, there's so many. None of us see them play live. You know, Jeff Hurst, Martin Peters, but we know about them. When you're a youngster, you learn about these legends and you grow up knowing about them. And you know, even now it carries on. You get 5-year-olds now that their dads teach them about Bobby Moore, and you see kids with number 6 Moore on the back of their shirts, and they learn from a young, because you have to know your club's history. You know, and there might be rival fans that might think, well, what are these three talking about? These ain't legends. But they're legends to us. They're legends to our football club. You know, Billy Bonds, record appearances. Frank Lampard Sr. that gets a lot of, you know, we've been lucky enough to meet Frank Lampard Sr. and interview him. And he is a massive West Ham legend. You know, 2 FA Cups, second all-time appearances. He doesn't get the recognition because of young Frank and what went on there. But that's not fair.
No, exactly. That's the thing. That's a complete...
Calvin Martin, another massive West Ham legend.
Yeah. See, and that's the thing with Frank Senior, is that you forget, you know, people need to forget about what Frank Junior did. You know, Frank Junior, you know, he left the club the way he left the club. That's his choice. That's what he wanted to do. You know, that's fine. But that doesn't reflect on his old man. His old man was a brilliant, you know, a great servant for the club, and he should be remembered for that. Not for his son left us, you know, and let's be honest, his son left us because he got the boot.
I say, Scott, if your son robbed the bank, it don't make you a bank robber, does it?
Yeah, that's it. And that's the thing, you know. And it's I said, it's a shame we haven't got that sort of attachment to him like we should have.
Yeah, and I think the way that they sacked Lampard and Redknapp, you know, it's of course like it was. I think it was terrible. It was a terrible decision.
It was a shock. It was a shocking trial because I remember when they sacked him, and I was like, "Wow, we just sacked Harry Redknapp." And you think about it, he was building a good team there. I know we just sold Rio, which was a massive, but at that time, £18 million was a lot of money back in them days. You're talking 2000. That's 20 years ago. £18 million. That would probably be the equivalent now of what? 80 million, 90 million.
Rio even us for 18 million is the equivalent of Maguire going to Man United for 80.
Mm.
Wasn't the main reason he got sacked was he was interviewed in a fanzine and he sort of spoke a bit of dissent against the board for, it might have been for selling Rio or transfer funds in general, and I think they sacked him for that.
I think as well, it come down to the fact that I think Redknapp was looking to sell on Joe Cole and Carrick, and the board, they all fell out over that. But eventually we sold them anyway, so it don't really make any difference, does it?
Yeah, and the fact that we sold Rio and went on to sign players like Titi Kamara. No,
Oh,
probably
I'll
DNL.
never forget that. We sold Rio Ferdinand and bought Rigobert Song.
Yep.
And we bought TT Kamara. And I can't remember, there was another player as well. There were 3 players. And I was thinking to myself, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I mean, TT Kamara. I mean, at Liverpool, I didn't think he was a bad player. But when he come to us,
It was awful.
I think like we ordered TT Kamara, but we got like a shit version. We must have ordered him from like fucking Very or something like that, or some right.
Happened so many times though, innit? Towards our club when we've signed players that look like might have been decent for a bigger club, and we expect things, and it just don't work out.
Yeah, we ordered him from like Liverpool, and we ordered him through Wish. We got some shit. But Rigobert Song weren't even another one. He was a decent player for Liverpool, but when they come to us, it was that period, wasn't it, where we signed players that were coming to an end of their career, and we just sort of we got that nickname, didn't we? The retirement home. We signed a lot of old players that were decent in their days, but they just sort of come to West Ham and picked up a wage. And saying you could say that now because Jack Wilshere and Andy Carroll done that for how long? But
would you make of Jack Wilshere's all these interviews he's done, and you know he's sort of complaining a lot and doesn't feel like he was treated fairly at the club, and doesn't feel like
I think with Jack Wilshere, I mean, I know he's been saying he's been fit, but the reason he has been fit is because he hasn't been playing. And look, as a player, Jack Wilshere, fully fit, is a great player. But if David Moyes didn't fancy him and didn't want to play him, then I have to back the manager.
Listen, if Wilshere was, was that sought after of a player at the moment, he wouldn't be a free agent. He would be.
He's a risk guy. He comes with high wages, and he's not guaranteed. You're not guaranteed even 10 games out of him a season, and it's a shame.
And that's it. And this is why certain other players are floating about still on a free transfer with no club, because people don't want to. At the moment, people don't want to risk him, and that's the thing. Wilshere, like you nailed on the head, mate. He was fit because he wasn't playing.
Yeah.
And so was Andy Carroll. Andy Carroll, to be fair, Andy Carroll half the time weren't fit even when he weren't playing. But he's only fit.
Like you say that last season at the Boleyn, that's how we're saying it was a special season. Andy Carroll was fully fit. I think he played over 30 odd games that season for West Ham. Exactly. That's how mad that season was. We got 4 seasons out of Andy Carroll.
And that's the thing. Wherever Wilshere goes, he'll still continue to have his injury problems.
Let's have a look at some of the old, some of the comments. Let's get some. Les Seeley. What character he was. I was at Alvin Martin's testimonial when we played Chelsea. We drew 3-0, and Les Seeley was in goal in the second half. And I remember him just standing in front of the crowd in the Centini and just laughing and joking with everyone. Such a great character.
That was a good day. That was a good. That was a good day. That was
because you remember Jamie Redknapp and McManaman come on from West Ham, didn't they?
Yeah. Who else was there for that one?
It was like, I think we played Chelsea 11, didn't we?
Yeah, there was another non-West Ham player who was.
Yeah. What was his name?
I remember
McManaman, Jamie Redknapp.
Yeah, it was on. I was watching something the other day, and I think I was watching one of the season reviews, and it popped up on there, and I can't remember who the other player was.
Oh, if anyone knows it, I'm sure if Kent Amazon, Lee Farrell says Palace in talks to sign Wilshere. That'd be an interesting one. But Palace do like to sign these sort of players, don't they? I don't know how true that is. I haven't seen anything, but listen, good luck to Jack Wilshere. I've got nothing bad to say against him. I wish it had worked out for him at West Ham. Candyman says, Scott, please pass a drink up to Ryan. I'm drinking. I've got vodka and coke tonight. Look, there's the podcast.
Vodka in it.
Other brands are available, by the way.
Yeah. Someone said put some more.
Chris Waddle. Yeah, see, Kent Hammers knows. Like, I'm gonna listen. Kent Hammers knows everything, mate. Listen, any problems, go to Kent Hammers. He knows a lot. That's why I said if he's still in the room, he would know. Yeah, it was Chris Waddle. Cool. Could you imagine if West Ham had Chris Waddle and Manaman and Redden in the same team in that era?
God, what a team! What players they were as well.
That was a great day, that Alvin Martin testimonial. He's the only player. I think he's the only player at the club. Kent Hammers might prove me right. they actually had 2 testimonials for West Ham.
That's a fact. That's a stat to look into.
I'm sure he did. I'm sure. Help me out, Kent Hammers, please. Even if he didn't, just make it up.
Yeah. Where's your shirt from, right? You get a lot of our questions about your attire, didn't you?
You know what? This is from the actual club shop. This is the 125-year anniversary T-shirt they do. I've been trying ages to get one online. Didn't have them. They had them in the club shop. But randomly, I went and had some pie and mash in Basildon a couple of weeks ago. I went in the West Ham shop there. I've never been there before. And they had them in there. So I picked one up.
What's this?
£25 bargain.
Dan Lawless slotting a football between 2 council bins in Canning Town. Mine's on a Dan Lawless, West Ham legend.
That's what we need, mate. Jumpers for goalposts.
That's it. That's what
Kent Hammers
don't do it.
Oh yeah,
Kent Hammers. Has he commented yet?
Billy Bonds also had 2.
All right.
Yeah, that sounds about. I can see that.
Mad, isn't it? A player having 2 testimonials. You know,
do you know what? I wouldn't mind seeing Noble have a second one. You know,
the army, Ryan. Please do that whole bottle. I'll try to, mate. I'll try to. I started on it.
If we beat Liverpool, you should do it. Finish the bottle on what do you call it? Post match pint.
So where is it? Look, Simon Ryan Archer's having a party, drinking vodka and Coke, Diet Coke, Coke, not the other. Yeah, not the full fat Coke.
That's another thing, though, right? So you had Alvin Martin and your Billy Bonds getting 2. James Collins didn't even get 1.
Do you know what? I see Collins on Soccer AM the other week, and he officially announced his retirement from football. I think West Ham will do something for Collins. I really do think they will.
The way he went out and with the email and all of that was just poor.
Yeah, I think they will do something for him. And if not, if they don't do something, I'm sure the fans will try to do something for him. Even if we just go and have a kick about over the park and just invite everyone over.
Do you know what they could do, right? Is you got to remember, Reedy's still got Reedy. This is his 10th season.
Well, you're talking about Winston Reid. He's back at West Ham in November. He's loan
line deals up, and I got a funny feeling. Well, I say I got a funny feeling. So I spoke to someone, and they've got a funny feeling that you could see Dawson go out the door and back to Watford, and Reid become our spare centre half. You know, the backup centre half.
It's a risk, though, isn't it, with his injury record? But I don't know how he's been getting on over in the States. I haven't.
Apparently,
on him.
And he's been playing well. Apparently, I don't follow the MLS at all, so I'm not. You know, but that's again conversation I had with Russ when I was doing the Hammers 11 with him. He said that about Reedy. He could be the 5th choice centre back.
Dean Henderson says he thinks Nobes is due a buzz cut. Barney's getting a bit nasty. I think Noble's hanging on, mate. I think he's got about 2 haircuts left now, and then he's got to go.
Do you know what? I remember in like 2008, me and Jace talking about his hair and going, "Oh, that's on his way. Surely he's going to have to shave it off soon." And here we are, like over 10 years later.
Yeah, mine's getting a bit like that now. Like, fuck him.
Just shave it off, right?
No, do you know what? My hair's quite. Do you know what? I shaved it off during lockdown, and I panicked because I thought it might not grow back, but it's actually grown back thicker. And I don't have no product in my hair now, and it's I'm feeling the benefits. I'm holding on. And I look at the twins in my family. My dad's got good hair at his age, and all my granddad's had good hair. So I don't think I'm gonna end up like you, Mr. Lawless.
Join us.
But you pull it off well. You pull it off better than Nicky. Nicky's still holding on to the side stream.
He can't make up his mind, can he? Sometimes he grows it out, sometimes he shaves it down a bit.
Half and half, isn't he?
Yeah, embrace it. Go all the way, Nick. Bloody. Speaking of Reid, I just had to look up. He's made for Sporting Kansas City. Made 8 appearances and scored 1 goal.
P-Man says 9 matches, 1 goal, under 7 rating.
Is that in overall?
I'll be honest. I think Winston Reid's finished his career at West Ham. I just don't think. I think the Premier League football's too much for him now. You know, Scott, we was there the day he got injured. Do you remember Swansea away? We see him injured, and we heard the scream because we was that close to the pitch, and we knew back then. I remember you saying to me, that's going to be a long-term injury, and he hasn't played for West Ham since. That's been
Wasn't his last
20 months, something like that.
Yeah.
I thought his injury was when him and Carroll got done in pre-season when they allegedly.
No. This was the injury that put him out.
Yeah,
and he was due to come back, and then the alleged incident on the balcony while they were in a training camp.
Right.
Did they fall out the window or something?
They apparently was hanging down off a back from one back, trying to drop down to the balcony below, and
See,
they both found themselves.
Allegedly, don't forget.
Allegedly.
It's important to put that in.
I've got it from a reliable source that it's true though.
Davey says, wait till West Ham go on a losing run, your hair will soon be thinning. Mate, if my hair was based on West Ham's in my lifetime, I'd be bald.
See,
Wolves are destroying Palace.
Oh, let's have a look.
2-0 apparently.
Destroying them 2-0. Oh. See the stats, what the stats are on that.
Oh, fuck me, I can't see it.
Oh,
I thought it's not on Sky, is it? Oh, it's on that 1490. Oh, let's have a little chat about the 1495. West Ham Fulham. When West Ham said, put out on their Twitter yesterday that, they're moving the game to 8 o'clock on a Saturday night because for the TV, I thought, oh, that's nice. Live on Sky, live on BT. No, it's 14.95. You know, I'll be honest, unless I can get a stream, I'm not paying 14.95. So if I don't watch it, I won't be on post-match Pint next week because I'm not paying 14.95 to watch as much as I love the football club.
Yep.
You know, I got down to it. I love boxing. I'm not paying to watch the Zora tomorrow night. I'll get it on a stream. That's ridiculous. They've got to scrap this 14.95. They've got to scrap it.
Joe, I'd like to know the numbers of people.
I think Sheffield United had one last week, and there was it Sheffield United West Brom or something? And there was
West Brom versus Burnley, I think.
Yeah, and there was like 60 people bought it.
Yeah, something like that.
That's ridiculous.
You know, that's the thing, Joe. It's not worth. What's the point? What's the point in doing it? Let's be honest. Look, it's a massive money-making gimmick from the TV companies.
If the world was a normal place, right, then I still wouldn't pay it. But yeah, you probably see. But we're all struggling at the moment. You know, people are losing their jobs. You know, anything that football can give us back, us fans that have been not only West Ham fans, but fans of all clubs in the Premier League and lower leagues. But I know it's more for the Premier League with the 14.95. Just give us that little bit back. During lockdown, we was begging for football to come back, and Sky, BT, BBC, Amazon Prime, they covered all the games and they give fans something back. And now they're trying to charge us for it. And it's not only Sky, it's BT as well. And it's corrupt, it's wrong, and it shouldn't be allowed. They shouldn't be able to rip the fans off like it.
Yeah, they make enough money off football to give it to free. Now, to all free, you know, you got your normal subscriptions to Sky, BT, whatever you want to do. You got normal subscriptions. They can put every game on. You know, they get enough money. They get enough advert revenue to cover the cost of them games. Right?
But apparently, it's not the channels that want it. It's the clubs that are pushing for, like the Premier League, and that they're pushing for. Apparently, they're happy not to charge the TV channels.
But the thing is, if they're happy not to charge it, then don't charge it.
If you know, I understand obviously the Premier League, we're losing money because the fans are not there. But if they turn around and said £5, you know, more people would buy that because people would look at it and think, all right, it's still a liberty, but £5. You know, more people paying it. But £14.95 for West Ham versus Fulham. I mean, don't get me wrong, I won't pay £14.95 to fucking.
Look, there's people that pay there's people that pay £5 for a cup of coffee. So there's people that will pay £5 to watch football, and it makes
who pays £5 for a coffee, Scott?
There's probably
that's you in Loughton, isn't it? The Loughton boys.
Costs is the most expensive you get, but do you know what I mean? You £5 ain't bad, but as someone's literally just put in the comments, it's not going to stay at £5. And this is the thing. At the end of the day, it's again trying to take the game away from the working class, in my opinion.
That's what I'm saying. You've got to reward fans, but you've got to look after fans because at the moment we're all, you know, we're struggling, you know, because we can't go to the football. You know, as much as even if West Ham were doing shit at the moment, we'd all still want to go there. As much as people hate the London Stadium, we can't wait to go back there just to get back to normal routine. You know, just to go to football. You know, and that's not only West Ham, that's every club up and down the country. We all want to go back to see our football clubs. But at the moment, they're pricing us out. I mean, to sit there, for me to press that red button and book West Ham versus Fulham for $14.95. Nah, it's not happening, mate. I'd rather watch old EastEnders than watch fucking West Ham for $14.95. You know, I'd rather watch the West Ham fan TV watch along, you know, and listen to Dan and Nick give me what's going on, even though they're like 2 minutes behind. But,
but I mean, I'd rather spend 15 quid on something else. You know,
I could afford it, but it's the principle. It's the principle. I could pay it, but I refuse. I refuse.
Definitely. We can all sit there and afford it. It's easy to do, isn't it? It's easy to press that red button and book it. We can all do it.
But you can afford one game, that's fine. But then what stops them going, well, do you know what? We've had a massive success with this 15 quid. Every game's going to be box office.
Lee Davis just said, watch out, Ryan's on a Diet Coke. He obviously didn't see the little vodka that I slipped in there. And,
I mean, and that's the thing.
I only had the Diet Coke because it makes me feel better.
Yeah, you know, that's it's just a start. Listen, the more people that pay this £15 to watch these games, the more they're going to do it, and it needs to stop. And the only way to stop it, we keep saying things in football, you've got to boycott it. This is the first thing we can boycott. It's the first thing we'll all sit there.
I can just say, she's here, Christopher. Pat is never too far away, mate. I tell you what, positive Pat, since I've bought this mask, we ain't lost.
There you go, see?
You need to get yourself one, Scott. You need to get yourself a positive Bianca or Frank or something.
Yeah. Well, it's decent. I personally love Dan and Nick being 2 minutes behind. The anticipation before the celebration is great, especially before the Lanzini goal. It's funny, someone said for the Lanzini goal, they got to celebrate it, run around their living room, then come back and wait for us to see it. Like, so there's
Dan, I'll do it. I celebrated that goal. I danced around the front room, went up the shop, and then I was out for an hour, come back, and you were still behind, and I just about see your celebration. But
this is the thing, though, right? When you're doing the watch along, the worst thing about it is when people put in the chat the goal we scored, because then
everyone was putting it in the chat, but me and Nick weren't even looking.
Can I just say, and Scott will back me up on this. After being Nicky's best mate for over 25 years, I can tell you that he's not only 2 minutes behind, he's about an hour behind everything, that bloke. You know, he is Mr. Late for everything. How many times when we used to go out that I used to say to Nicky, all right, I'll come pick you up in a cab. And obviously I'm in Canning Town, he's in Beckton. So we used to pick him up in Beckton in the cab and then go on to O'Neill's down the 406. And I say, Nick, be ready for 8 o'clock. Cab will be there. All right, mate. Yeah, I'll be ready. Turn up 5 to 8. Nicky's sitting there, bang on his door, no answer. I walk in because he used to always leave his door open. I walk in, sitting there in his pants playing the computer.
Or be in the bath.
Or sitting in the bath with a towel around his neck. So the cab fare goes up an extra 20 quid because Nicky's having a fucking late night jacuzzi.
Fuck yeah, honestly. It never changed.
Even now, Nicky said he might come on tonight. He's running late. He's Mr. Late.
He's always late. He's the only person I know who's more late than me. My missus hates me because I'm late for everything. But Nicky beats me hands down.
Yeah. And it winds me up because you know me, like I like to be like when I say a time. Nick, I'm sure he does it on purpose. That's why when I got married, I had to get him round here the night before and literally drive him to the wedding. Because if I'd said to him, "Oh, Nick, meet me there tomorrow," he'd have turned up during the fucking speeches. Yeah. All right, mate. What's happening? Yeah. On.
I'll be honest, man. I'm surprised you gave him the rings.
Yeah,
well, I literally didn't give him the rings until we was in the fucking thing sitting there, and I knew he couldn't lose them. I just said to him, like, here, there's the rings. All you have to do is stand up in about 5 minutes and then pass them to me. And
my! You could just see it, couldn't you? In patting, going, oh my god!
It's a shame. You just knew it. You just knew it. He would have been.
Someone There was a comment. Someone said I bet Scott drives a Chelsea tractor. Something about you says Chelsea's tractor, Scott. I don't know what it is.
I think it's because Ryan said I live in Loughton. I think so.
Yeah. It's I think it's actually a little bit like is your car 4x4 right here?
No. It's like Range Rover.
I ain't got that car no more. I bought a new car during lockdown.
There you go.
I don't technically even own a car at the minute, so
yeah, it's kind of like them off-road type, Range Rover, Land Rover, them big ones that people drive. They're sort of off-road, but they drive them in the city for some reason.
Yeah, they normally drive them about 100 yards to drop their kids off at school and then drive back home.
Yeah, I treated myself during lockdown to a new car, so I got myself. No, I didn't get a Range Rover Evo. I got myself a Mercedes A-Class Sport. So you got to treat yourself, in you, Scott. You got to treat yourself.
So Scott, you haven't got a Chelsea tractor. In fact, he drives his little van with the little spinny ice cream man.
Oh, I missed that van pulling up outside my work, picking up the camera or dropping off the camera.
Yeah, I've got my work van. At the minute, I've got 2 work vans, and the missus has got her car. So
I always like it when Scott comes and you're going to drive. He's going to drive somewhere, but it's in his missus' car. Like when we're going away games. Yeah, it's the van. It's like you're in the van.
You know when Scott turns up in his van, shit's about to go down.
Yeah, his wife's car is really nice. Yeah, it's a nice car, so it's very.
You
drove us to Swansea away in it, didn't you, Scott?
Yeah.
Remember when it was snowing and we got halfway there and we thought this ain't going to happen this game, and then it was the worst snowfall. But we got to Swansea and there was no snow.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, crazy. Remember
I can't believe that.
We were on the motorway going into Wales, and there's cars in like embedded in the snow at the side of the road, and just people just giving up.
We even said, didn't we? Like, this definitely ain't kicking off. We should turn around, but we thought, no, we'll go there. And we got to Swansea, and there was nothing. We were standing in that harvester having a beer opposite the ground, and there was just it was like sunshine. I was thinking, where's the fucking snow?
It was crazy, honestly. It was the most.
Turn around.
It was. That was the thing.
We did turn around, Dan, because we lost 4-0. Andre Ayew was like Messi that night.
Are we going to go? We're going to go, and literally it was like, yeah, we'll go and see what happens. And we got there, and God, I wish we had. I think it was I
was down your way the other day, Scott. I was over Top Golf in Chigwell, just down the road from you.
You should have popped in and said hello. Well, you could have pulled up outside and said hello.
Yeah. We can't do that no more. Them days are long gone now, mate. Till Boris says we can, we can't. But but I ain't been over the driving range for years, and it sort of showed. But when you have I had 2 games, so that's 40 balls. When you have one good connection and you fucking smash it. But I was getting the ump because I'm playing against me wife, and she, I'm whacking it, and I'm hitting it far, but I'm not getting no points. But then if you hit it in the front ones, you get points, and then if you get in the front, you get 3 points for. And I'm like, come on, man, this is cheating.
So you lost?
No, I won. I won. But when you get that driver out and you proper connect, I'm not a golf person, but I don't mind a bit of driving range, and when you connect it and you see it, and the only thing was I was downstairs. I like going upstairs because it looks like it goes further when you're upstairs. But when you're downstairs, you've got to be like proper pro and try to get it up in the air. You can't hit it across the floor.
Yeah, that's where we might end up over there.
VAR is currently checking the penalty for Crystal Palace, and fantastic. VAR has made the right decision, but no penalty.
It's come, Ryan. I will challenge you, mate. I don't want to challenge you. I know you play golf week in, week out, mate. So I'm only saying I might be able to tee off, but I won't get far.
I can't play golf to save my life. I can't.
I'm more of a crazy golf man.
Yeah, same.
You ever been to Junkyard Golf in Shoreditch?
No, not yet. I want to go.
It's good because you can walk around and there's bars there, so you can top yourself up with cocktails and shots and all that. And the more you go around, the more you get pissed. And, it was good. It was good. It was a good night.
Last crazy golf I went to, I took my daughter to the Moby Dick one. You know.
Oh yeah. I'll tell you what. Last time I took my daughter and my missus. We went to the one at Blue Water, and I was smashing them. I'll get competitive as you do. You can't let kids win, can you? They're never learning life if you let them win. And the last hole, I went right. If anyone gets a hole in one, they win the whole thing. I stepped up. I've only hit it. Hole in one. I was about to celebrate.
Crazy golf.
We should have a West Ham Fan TV crazy golf day or football golf.
Yeah, we should do that. Once Nicky's sorted, we'll go. Once we can do it, let's go and do it. I think.
Once Nicky's sorted, what do you mean? Once he's sorted, what?
once he's like, he's in a with his legs, he's a bit fitter.
Let's be honest, mate. Even in his fittest days, he couldn't kick a fucking ball. So what's it matter? He's not on, so we can say it.
Exactly. But no, we should do that. Have a game of foot golf and a round of crazy golf. I think it'd be a laugh.
Yeah, I tell you what, I did the foot golf in Cyprus, right? And I burned some calories. I got some miles, but I was walking right. You kick it, it's too far. You got to walk back and up and down. Like I was knackered by the end of it.
Archie Moore says axe throw in his class. Oh, do you know what? I've seen that on the telly, but I've never actually been.
I've been over a place in Crawley that does that, but I didn't do that. I done when I was over there. What did I do? I done off-road go-karting and clay pigeon shooting. That was good.
I love clay pigeon shooting.
That was good.
Carrot and Blue, Big Blue. I can see Ryan running around a mini golf celebrating. I'll tell you what, mate. You weren't far off, mate. I'll probably give it some proper stick. I was singing to my daughter, "You're fucking shit." No, mate, jokes. I weren't. This is a good one. West Ham Fan TV versus Tottenham TV. Is that in the golf or just random? Let's fucking have it.
Do you know what? And I would love it. I would love to just have him like winning and up there and then just come back and do him and see him cry like they do. Imagine that.
Yeah, like we're 3-0 down with 3 holes to go and we pull it back.
3-0.
Oh, that's it's so funny. Like with those lads, because I remember Louis from 100% Chelsea. That's what he used to do. Was like, yeah, listen, would you want to do a collaboration with these lads? Like. It'd be great and come and meet them and all of this. And at the time, it was kind of like we'd already had ops, but we obviously did the flat stuff with Flav. And but we've so there's times where they've obviously reached out to try.
I'll be honest, I've met them once and I just found them arrogant. I just found them. I wouldn't do anything with them, to be fair. I just found them. Especially like in their videos when they're sitting there calling pikeys and all shit like that. I just don't want nothing to do with them, to be fair. But Happy Hammer 82, 5-a-side, West Ham Fan TV versus Hammer's Chat. I'll tell you what, mate. There's only one winner in that. Yeah. One winner, and that's Hammer's Chat.
Yeah, you're trying to look. So I know obviously
that might be a good thing. When we get back to normal, to real life, we should maybe host a summer football 5-a-side event and have like. Because obviously there's a lot of West Ham fan channels out there, little 5-a-side tournament. That'd be half decent, wouldn't it?
That'd be all right.
I would fancy us, considering like
especially when you got the old big dog Graham at the back, mate.
Yeah, exactly. Graham's still doing his thing. He's still playing, So
I retired at 23. 30. I'm 36 now.
If a new fit Nicky could, do some bits. See how he get on.
Mate, I remember him at 16 when he was at his fittest and he still couldn't do bits then. If you hit him 2 yards either side of him, he weren't moving. But,
I think we have the oldest average age for the whole YouTube lot.
Yeah, but that brings experience, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Wow, we're the oldest average age channel. Are we really? That's depressing.
I'll tell you what you should do. You should do 3 people have to play from the channel if there's 3 people in the channel, and you have to have 2 subscribers.
We need to go.
We've got some good connections with Ironworks, so I'm sure we can get a couple of bangers out there.
We need a decent goalkeeper because none of us can play in goal.
Did I just say Ironworks? Who's number 1 for Ironworks?
Oh yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
probably one of the best goalkeepers I've ever seen that
Very much so. Very much so. Very, very good goalkeeper. No way he should be playing at our level. He should be playing a whole lot.
We should expand it and just do all YouTube channels. We'll take on Tottenham, Chelsea, Arsenal, Man United.
Yeah, someone said that there, but versus AFT Blue. But that's the thing. Like, obviously, I don't want to face their AFT VFC. It'd be, their people that are on there.
You know what? I like Matt Powell. I like Matt Powell because I feel like he's flirting with me. But thank you so much, mate. Send him a t-shirt. Get him a t-shirt on the way.
It's Graham and Scott that bump up the average age for us, isn't it? They're the ones who.
You're 40 now, aren't you, Scott?
40, yeah. Graham's 44, I think. 44, 43.
I'm 36.
So he seems like yesterday he turned 40.
He's 38. Dan's how are you? 32 now.
32, yeah, 32.
So the average age is like.
See, I'm
fucking old.
The average age has got to be touching 40, isn't it? So.
Experience, Scott. You know yourself in private sides. You don't need to be the quickest. You just knock it around.
Exactly.
How many times when we was in our early 20s did we play the vets and couldn't even get the ball?
Cool. Yeah, a lot of times.
Yeah, I think
that would be a laugh if we done something like that.
Iris Tommy, which one of the West Ham Fan TV crew would be a full kit wanker?
Nicky, no doubt.
Nicky. I can imagine Nicky just bowling out of the shorts and socks and everything. Captain's armband.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt about it in my mind. I can see it.
Oh, hang on. Can I just say I love the name, by the way? Testicle. That is a great name.
Awesome.
I have a baby boy. That is what I'm calling him. Testicle Archer.
Scott, I would take that as
Scott's a fossil.
I would take that as a compliment, Scott, because he's obviously surprised. He obviously expected you to be younger than you are. So Scott, he's trying to say you look younger than 40.
That means that I'm 3 years away from being a fossil. So you'll be like, you'd be a proper fossil by then.
Exactly. Yeah.
Anyway, we're reaching the last, 20 minutes. So if you've got any questions, anything you want to ask, chuck them in now. Wherever you are around the world, let us know where you are from around the world, and we'll answer. We'll try to answer.
What I say is, cheers, Lee. Thanks, mate.
Scott, you put that up, didn't you? You had to put that.
But what Lee put underneath was plus 20. B Army says Dan looks about 45.
It's the ball. Listen, it's the bald head. You know you're saying it. No wrinkles on that, mate. I tell you.
Yeah. Who's a bet? Hang on. Where's he gone? I've lost it. Where are you? Here we go, Matt Powell. Who's a better keeper, Graham or Roberto?
Roberto.
Okay. No, Graham ain't a bad keeper. Considering he's a left back, centre half, he ain't a goal. He can put a shift in goal, I must admit.
I just can't picture him diving.
Matthew's coming out with the proper questions now. Which one you like, Jägermeister, Sambuca, or tequila? I'll be honest, I'm a Sambuca man.
Yeah, Sambuca.
I used to like tequila until my second holiday to Mexico, and it fucking ruined me. And I can't even the smell of it now. I can't.
It's the thing is, I don't like any of them. It's what I tolerate the most. And if I have to choose, when I'm out and I have to choose a shot, I would choose Sambuca over all of them.
To be fair, Sambuca or tequila is fine with me. I can't stand Jägermeister.
This is one for probably me and Scott. Who missed the most sitters back in the day?
Probably you.
Between me and what?
It's got to be you because you're further forward than I am. I was a defender.
Hey, mate, I remember, right? I played centre back all through like youngster. I love centre back. And then when I went into men's football and I realised that I was 5'10" and like, I'm coming up against like 7 foot strikers, I thought I can't play this role no more. And then like I went into midfield. Someone said to me, "I'll go and play centre midfield one game," and I was like, "Nah, man, that's too much." And I played there and I scored 2 goals on my debut. And I thought, happy days, this will do for me. And I just loved it because I had runners around me like little Tommy Turner. Used to do my running, and I used to just sit in the centre circle, get the ball and spring it. And Scott was me right back, so whenever I used to get the ball, I used to play it to left back. Yeah, and I used to play it to Graham. Nicky was up top, And no, we had some good days back in our youth.
We had a laugh, didn't we? We had a good laugh.
Listen, the thing is, when we first started, we wasn't the greatest, and I remember the times when we used to turn up and get spanked like 8 or 10-0. But we stuck with it, and we brought a few good players that we knew into the team, and we ended up winning trophies. So we had a good team, and some great memories that I'll always remember. You know what I mean?
Always good fun, mate. Always good fun. It was.
How many of you would be considered Newham legends for the club? Club legends.
All of us
up there, mate. I think they even tried to put a statue of me up once. I think that was just for the Christmas dues. I'll tell you what, Scott, we were more legends off the pitch than we was on it. The presentation nights. Remember that time I turned up in them fucking blue shoes? Listen, I'm going back 2005 now. That was the thought of they weren't suede, they were leather. But yeah, we had some cracking nights.
Mate, honestly, the social side of it was brilliant with all of us there. All of us and our team, when we first was there, like when you and Nicky first come and all that, our team, every social, we were there.
We've got a Villa boy in here. Bad Manners or Bobby Brown? It's got to be Bad Manners, in it. Lip up fatty.
Yeah, has to be.
I think if you go for songs,
Bobby Brown, Ghostbusters 2 soundtrack.
Bobby Brown for me, he has more songs that I would listen to than back, like more like song for song.
Stevie Ray, Scott and Ryan, in your playing days, what were your favourite footy boots? See, I just love plain black Umbro classics.
Yeah, I'm with you. I like the Umbros plain black ones. I
never forget that time I bought a pair of Predators because we had a blue kit, didn't we? So you remember when Predators brought out the blue boots? I thought, you know what, I'll get these. I'll treat myself. 120 quid on a pair of boots. Blue, silver Predator. So, you know, silver Adidas. Loved it. I wore them once. They hurt my feet. They were the most uncomfortable boots I've had in my life. Umbro specials you can't beat, though.
Yeah, Umbro's good. Umbro's good. They were very, very comfortable for me.
But yeah, just to answer that, because I thought anytime anyone asks for advice on software or whatever, it's StreamYard. We do want to be using OBS, but my computer, my CPU's on its way out. Basically, I need a new CPU because it just keeps overheating. Like, I can't even edit a video at the moment.
I see you tweet that, Dan, and I thought I'd swerve that question because I ain't got a fucking clue what you were talking about.
Yeah, I thought so. But yeah, we just use this StreamYard, which anyone can use, really. But and then another West Ham fans, would West Ham fans ever get a fancy studio if they had a budget, or keep it raw and simple as they do now? I think we'd like a studio as a base of operations, as a home. We're not really a webcam channel. Like, we've been forced into this, but it'd be nice to have a home where
I think we'd love to have what we had at the old clubhouse, you know, for the old post-match pint setup, because that was raw. It was fresh. It was a boozer, and it was quiet, you know. But hopefully, once things get back up and running, we can maybe speak to a few pubs or something that have got a spare room and can let us going back to that, because we love it. But we'd love to have a studio. We'd love to all be able to meet up and do our things. And
yeah, that's it.
That's what we miss. We all miss meeting up. I mean, because I think since lockdown, I don't think I've seen used to. I've seen Nicky once, and that was when I popped round his house before he went away for his operation. But even then, like, I couldn't hug him or say hello properly, and we had to be social distance, and it was weird. And it has been weird because we haven't really seen each other since March, have we?
I haven't.
See Scott and Nicky.
Yeah, me, Dan went to see Nicky when we done the predictions. I haven't seen you since lockdown. I've seen Graham quite a few times. But yeah, it's really weird. Like, to only see you, Ryan, Dan, and Nicky once in almost a year. It's mental. You know, it is mental. But I think with us, we could get a fancy studio, but it'd still be raw and simple. Don't worry about that. You know, just because we're in the studio, don't make us any better.
I think it'll be a mix. Obviously, depends. Like, some shows, you know, you might see a slick preview or something, but like, obviously your post-match pints and stuff like this, we want it to have that pub feel, mates having a beer type of feel. But I think it's just a case of we want somewhere where we have complete control over it, because you've seen us do post-match pints over the years where we're in certain pubs and it's loud and it's noisy and it's tough, you know. We want somewhere we don't have to worry about anyone else booking it or coming in or any problem.
That's probably the one thing that would improve, wouldn't it? If we got a studio, the audio would be a lot better, which I know a lot of people get annoyed at.
Yeah, that's the thing. When you have no control over it, it's so hard. Like when we was at the other place last time, and those guys were playing all that loud music, and it's hard because you can't tell them, you know, they're out, and there's nothing we can do.
Yeah, exactly. Right, yeah, I've got one for you. At the M82, if you could bring back any former player in their prime, who would it be?
Oh,
to be fair, there's
at the moment. I mean, yeah, I mean, any former player in their prime. That's the tough. I mean, because obviously you think of the Bobby Moores and the centre backs. I mean, but I don't know. I think we could, at the moment, I think we could do with sort of like a Devonshire type player, you know, or maybe a Billy Bonds just sitting in the centre mid with Declan Rice. Souček. Oh, imagine that. Bonds, Rice, and Souček. And you remember that famous sign from the 1980 FA Cup final was Billy Bonds eats rice. Referring to Pat Rice at the time, but maybe Billy Bonds and Rice could form. But yeah, I don't know.
It's hard. So
many players you could choose from. I mean, what you got to look at is at our team now. What is the weak link? You know, you could probably say left back might be our weak link, and you could probably say like Frank Lampard Senior. But it's a tough one. There's loads of players.
I would like to see a prime Dean Ashton. You know. If he could come and obviously back and not get injured, I think we obviously need a striker, and I'd love to see what he could do in this.
The thing is, as well, is when you look at players that left us and then went on somewhere else to be in their prime, more modern players. Imagine having a prime Rio Ferdinand playing at the back.
Mate, he was the players that I've interviewed that played with him. They've all said the same thing. He was like a Rolls Royce. Yeah. He was so honestly, he was unreal. You know, it's a privilege to see him, you know, through the youth teams and into the first team, and even going back to the training ground just to see him train week in, week out with the players at that time. And, you know, he was unbelievable for West Ham. Unbelievable.
Right, I've got another one. Unless you got one, right? Or
I did see one, but hang on. This is the one. It's more for you, Scott.
Oh, go on in.
You see the Depeche Mode at London Stadium, and hope you'd like to see their play next. I mean, you've seen a few concerts at the London Stadium, Scott. Did you see them?
No, I didn't see Depeche Mode.
I've only ever seen one concert at the London Stadium, and that was Robbie Williams. So
I would have loved to see Depeche Mode at the London Stadium. I really regret that I didn't.
I've seen. Who have I seen? Who did I see? Foo Fighters. And who else did I see? AC? No, was it AC/DC? No, it weren't. It was Guns N' Roses.
Scott, do you remember when you took me to see Foo Fighters at the old Wembley?
Yeah. With Nicky sitting right up in the gods.
Yeah, because I'm not really into that sort of music.
Yeah,
and I remember you taking me there because you had a spare ticket, and I thought, do you know what? It's a nice time to see new Wembley Stadium. It just opened. It was about 2008, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And I thought, all right, happy days. I go, you know, like a tenner or something like that. So I thought I'd go have a laugh for you lot. And I was watching the mosh pits more than anything. Like they're fucking nutters down there. But the only song I knew of Foo Fighters, they sung when I was queuing up at the bar to get the fucking drinks in, and I was gutted. Absolutely gutted.
You know what? You say mosh pits, right? My brother and a mate of mine.
Hang on. Hang on.
I'd agree.
Fuck you, Dan. Let's log Dan out. Robbie Williams ain't music, Ryan. It's crap. Listen, he's not the greatest singer. I'll give you that. But as an entertainer, he is good, and I actually like it. So
give him buttons then. Give him a red coat. Give him a red coat and put him in fucking buttons.
Nah, listen. Honestly, I've seen Robbie a few times, and he's always a good. He's not everyone's cup of tea, But do you know what?
Did you let him entertain you?
Oh, all day long, mate. All day long.
Oh, man.
And here's a fun fact for you. Angels never went to number 1.
It was fucking played constantly, like as if it did go to number 1 all the time.
But I'm loving Pat Butcher instead.
It's that's a hard one for me. Pink Floyd or Queen. I listen more to Pink Floyd. I love both, and I grew up with both. But
Queen. Do you know what? I went to see Queen at the O2. Obviously, Freddie Mercury. It was Adam Lambert.
Mhm.
But what a concert that was. And to be fair to him, Adam Lambert is a great singer. And there was a point where he sung Bohemian Rhapsody and Freddie Mercury was on the screen and he was duetting with him. But I'll tell you one thing that surprised me that night, how good Brian May was a singer.
Oh, yeah, he's very good.
He's a great singer. And
I've seen, I was at Al Murray's Pub Landlord when they had the cast of We Will Rock You on. And it was the last episode of the series. So Brian May and is it Paul Rogers? They were on playing with him. I've seen them also play with the Foo Fighters at Milton Keynes. I'm sure it was Milton Keynes. That was really good.
Queen are legendary though. Some of their songs, you know, you listen to it and
this is what I was saying the other day on Twitter. Someone put up like bands and they were talking about Oasis or Queen, and it's like, I'm sorry, you can't put Oasis in the same category as Queen.
Oasis are great, but Queen will live on forever. Their songs will be listened to in 100 years' time.
I don't understand the obsession with Oasis. I think all their songs are samey.
I like their early stuff.
Yeah, some of their songs will be around. You know, Queen's got you. I always look at music, right, and you look at the longevity of certain songs, and you look at a lot of the modern crap now. In 10 years' time, you'll forget about it. You know, and songs like that, you know, Oasis Wonderwall will be sung 20, 30, 40, 50 years down the line. Queen,
they've got some great tunes.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing.
Queen has more iconic songs. What are you going to name? Wonderwall and that other one. What's it? What's the other one?
Don't Look Back in Anger.
Don't Look Back in Anger. Yeah, that's it. And they're both like similar sound. They didn't have different.
But my favourite is I love Champagne Supernova.
Yeah, Champagne Supernova. Yeah. So they had a lot of decent songs, but I get what you're saying, Dan. You can't put the two because
it's like saying the fucking Beatles or Westlife. I mean, Westlife all day long. No, listen, I love the Beatles, by the way. Beatles have got some great songs.
I think Oasis are the Westlife equivalent in this comparison.
Don't knock the Westlife, man. Westlife are a great band. They're very underrated, and they killed Boyzone. They got rid of Boyzone and they brought it back up to the 21st century. But here's one for you, Dan. Mankind, Dude Love, or Cactus Jack?
It's a tough one.
What? I actually remember the Royal Rumble when all three appeared.
I had that on video. I think overall, looking back as an adult, Cactus Jack, I'd say.
I used to love a bit of Dude Love, though, man.
Yeah, the best theme song goes to
seeing him on Monday Night Raw on a Friday night. No, it was Friday Night Raw at the time, wasn't it? And when he used to come down and he used to do the old dance and but he's Mick Foley's just a legend anyway, isn't he?
Yeah, quality. He is quality.
I love this. Lisa Langley, by the way, is a huge take that fan, and she's saying take that a better than Westlife. And I
like Lisa. I think she might be a bit wrong there. I know she might take that. She's a big Take That fan, but I know she's a big Ollie Murs fan as well. So I'll take that or Ollie Murs. Let's see what she says on that one.
Listen, I'm not a fan of that kind of pop music. I think I look back and I think in the 90s, Take That probably had some good tunes and boys. I've
been to see Westlife a few times. I ain't gonna lie. I went there. Was it last year? Yeah, last year with my wife at the O2. You know, she's a big. I was fucking up and singing, man. I was getting everyone up and dancing, man. I loved it.
I don't like any of their songs. There's not a single song.
Listen, Flying Without Wings at the end of the night.
When was Westlife around?
Late 90s, mate. 99.
No, I thought it was 2000s, early 2000s.
No, mate, 99. Don't test me, Dan. Google it. 99.
I went years and years ago. I went
to all over again. Number one.
In the park, right? I went to party in the park, and I swear I saw Westlife there. But I've seen. I took my niece to see Take That, and Take That were really, really good. Really good.
Listen, I'm not knocking him. I'm not knocking him. Oh, Testicle, look. He's grand. I love his gran. His gran is my mate. I was probably sitting next to her at the concert.
Honestly, I just can't. They do nothing.
Look, Dave Knights, keep drinking, all coming out. Listen, I'll say it. I'm not even drunk, right? But I'll say this tomorrow morning. Ring me up, Matt Powell. My mum loves Westlife. See what I'm saying? We kill Boyzone, mate.
But listen, a lot of people obviously say, yeah, they are late 90s, but I think they was at their pinnacle in the 2000s. That's
yeah. Their album come out in 99 and then they took over the 2000s. So I sound like a right fucking Westlife fan.
He's got the t-shirt, he's got the pajamas and everything.
Next week I'll be wearing my Westlife Flying Without Wings t-shirt.
B Rat Pack. He's saying, what about Madness? Suggs Chelsea, but they're known as Chelsea, but what a great London band. You know what? I've seen Madness about 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
And up until the last time I saw them, they were absolutely brilliant. Last time I saw them, they were terrible.
Yeah, I see them at the O2 a few years ago, and they were shit.
Yeah.
Suggs was out his nut. He wasn't singing right. He was. Yeah. They didn't sound right.
I saw them at Madstock at Vicky Park, and you had the Pogues on as well. And Madness were really good. Do you know what? If you ever get to go Butlins, the 80s weekender, go check out the Madness tribute band. They are really good.
I tell you that those I do like a good 80s. The last 80s weekend I went to, the Phil Collins tribute guy was amazing as a Phil Collins tribute.
I'll tell you what.
Who was it? James Collins.
Yeah.
B Rat Pack says, I thought Ryan liked 50s music. I do, mate. Listen, I love 50s, 60s. I love my music range is very weird. Like when I go to the gym and I have me music on, like, I listen to a load of shit. 1 minute I could be listening to Elvis, 1 minute I could be listening to Craig David, 1 minute I could be listening to fucking 50 Cent and Phil Collins. And this morning, like I was in there and I was listening to 50 Cent. I was probably getting into it. And then Phil Collins, In the Air Tonight, come on. Then I sort of changed me run on the running machine. I was like, yeah, I can feel it. I can feel it.
Phil Collins don't get the respect that he deserves, man. I'm going to say this. I'm a big Phil Collins fan. And he don't get the
I love Phil. I love Phil Collins, mate.
I think he was he's one of 3 people, including Michael Jackson, to break like 100 million sales as a group, as a solo and as a group. Like, unbelievable.
Phil Collins, Genesis and Phil Collins, I know he's part of Genesis, but they got some great songs.
Oh yeah,
great songs. Really good songs. In the Air Tonight, honestly, is one of the greatest songs of all time.
Absolutely, yeah, unbelievable. It's timeless. You can listen to it again and again.
Oh, and who doesn't do the drum beat?
Yeah, exactly.
You listen to it, and if you suddenly listen as a song, it's got so much going for it. And he invented. They had the gated drum that was all new then, and just the sound. Phil is the man.
But I do listen to a bit of old school garage as well. But when I'm struggling and I'm getting to that point in Dan, you go, Jim, you know that point where you get the last 10 minutes and you're sort of struggling. I just whack on the Rocky soundtrack, mate. Hearts on Fire, Rocky soundtrack. Mate, it gets me going. I think of Rocky training and I'm like banging it out.
I have a special.
I go from Mo Slater to Mo Farah.
I should share this with you. I don't know if you got Spotify, but I have a specialized gym playlist and it's full of 80s montage songs. So there's all those Rockies ones, Hearts on Fire, No Easy Way Out.
No Easy Way Out.
Yeah, No Easy Way Out. Push It to the Limit. What was the one from Top Gun? Danger Zone.
Now, Living in America as well gets, because whenever I hear them songs, I think of the films. And I think Hearts on Fire. I think of Rocky, like Adrian's just let him down, like she ain't give him no hope, and then she turns up and she says, "I believe in you, Rocky," and then he just trains, and the Russian's getting the steroids, but he's running up mountains, and I'm like, if Rocky can do it, Ryan can do it. Ryan can last 10 minutes on this running machine before he goes home and smashes a doner kebab.
Yeah, montage music is great for the gym. That and obviously stuff like Iron Maiden and stuff like that. Stuff like Pumped Up, but I love montage music.
Know what else is quite good for the gym is Prodigy. Prodigy's got some good tunes for the gym.
I'm not a big Prodigy fan.
Mate, that's another band. Unfortunately, you probably won't ever get to see them, but they're another one that are well worth watching. Always keep your hands in your pocket so someone don't want you want it or you watch. But
he passed away last year, didn't he?
Yeah, it's a shame. Mate.
Didn't do much for me. Like it was a bit too. I don't know.
They put on a good show, mate. They put on a really good show. I've seen it. I saw them about 4 times as well. They were really good. I want to put this. I like the Eagles and I like Alice Cooper, but I've only ever seen Alice Cooper in Hollywood Vampires with what's his name? It's gone out of my head. Who plays Jack Sparrow?
Oh, Johnny Depp.
Yeah. Him and Johnny Depp. Hollywood Vampires, really good, really good. They just play songs from dead music, like dead musicians, sort of thing. That's all they do. That's hence why they're called Hollywood Vampires. They're really good.
Yeah. It's. I don't know too many Alice Cooper songs, to be honest. I don't know many. I mean,
he puts on a show. Does put on a show.
What?
He went to the gym in Nuffield. That's near Top Golf, isn't it? I'm sure that's that is, isn't it? I'm sure I've seen signs for Nuffield. Let's get a few more questions up. Comments up here. Here's one for you, Scott. The Goonies or Flight and the Navigator?
Flight and the Navigator is good, but it has to be the Goonies.
Yeah, I'll have to agree with that.
It's a weird one. I watched Flight and the Navigator. I remember watching that as a kid. And it's back then watching it, it was like, oh, this is good. But I imagine if I watched it now, not much happens really.
Oh, Dan, I think a lot. That's the thing. A lot of them would them 80s type films wouldn't be very good now.
It's like a film from Mark Marney. I hope I pronounced that right. Which of your wives or girlfriends would you allow in your five-a-side team?
This is probably decent at football.
My missus used to play football.
Yeah, my missus used to play football as well. I think they're probably better than us. So you've got our three. I think Nicky's missus, and Graham. Yeah, I think they've got a decent five-a-side team. Yeah.
See, mine is like would be classed as your Vinnie Jones. I literally have a bit of a buster. I wouldn't.
I can tell, Dan, from the bruises on your face.
You're butting someone. So yeah, it's straight. Should definitely get a red card.
Yeah. I'll be fair, Dan. I can see your missus being a proper Vinnie Jones in the middle of the park now.
Oh yeah, she has that temperament about it. Someone puts a tackle on her, it'll be. Thankfully, she can't. She hasn't noticed.
Any more questions up?
Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Walking Dead or Breaking Bad? I like both, but I think Walking Dead stayed around. It went down a wrong path. Where I think Breaking Bad, it had a few dips, but overall, look, as a complete season, it's.
You know what? I've only seen.
I've seen this one come up before. I missed it. Terence, I got it from the official club shop, mate. It's part of the 125-year anniversary range that they do. So, yeah, you can get it in all good club shops and online. I don't like promoting West Ham, but maybe we should do a West Ham Fan TV version.
Good idea.
Last action era.
Yeah, Dan, I've only seen season 1 of Breaking Bad, but I'm with you. Walking Dead did lose its way a bit.
Yeah, I think that's what let it down. If you look at the earlier series, it's amazing. But
yeah,
it went off.
Richard B just says Ghostbusters, mate, all day long. I'll tell you what, I'm looking forward to the new one, Ghostbusters Afterlife.
I'm sorry, Ryan, I'm not right. And this is
it's got to be better than the one they released last time.
It seems like it's just about the kids. And now they've just made it all about the kids, and it's not about the main character. I wanted to see him maybe pass the torch, but to a group of adult comedians, like Paul Rudd and those, and maybe do that, but not have a bunch of kids. And it just looks like
it's based on Egon's grandkids, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
And Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd and that are in it.
But it looks like they're just a side bit, and they're not the focus, and it's set in this little town, and it don't have that. When I saw the trailer, it didn't have that Ghostbusters feel for me. I don't know.
I got goosebumps when they done the Ecto 1 bit.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I do as well.
And I must admit, I've been off this week, and I've watched Ghostbusters 1 and 2, and I can't get bored of them. I can't get bored. I'm a massive Ghostbusters fan. I've been lucky enough to go to New York and see the fire station and all the filming locations. And honestly, I love it. Since I was a kid, it's I'm a massive Ghostbusters fan, and I'm looking forward to it.
I think you'll be disappointed.
No, I don't know. I think we have to go with the times, and
Yeah,
I think you might be surprised. I mean, that scene in the trailer with the Ecto-1.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. They have those little moments that pull on your nostalgia, right? But as a film,
yeah, I know.
The problem is, right? The problem is, it's like with the female version of the Ghostbusters that they brought out.
Never watched it.
This is the thing, right? If you look at that as a standalone film, away from the Ghostbusters, you don't think of Ghostbusters 1 or 2. It's not a bad film.
It just looks like a generic, formulaic modern American comedy.
Yeah. I never watched it. Because I knew it'd be a piss take. But
that's the thing. It's what they're portraying the new Ghostbusters as. It's not gonna be Ghostbusters.
But this is how they should have done it, right? Real quick. Said it's still in New York. They're getting older, whatever. Egon died, he's passed away, and now they want to find a new generation of Ghostbusters, so they're recruiting. So you get all of the hot comedians today, the big comedy actors today, and you get them, and they've got to train them up, and there's all sorts of shenanigans there. It would have been brilliant.
Yeah. Taz13 says Dan Aykroyd is class, but John Belushi was the funniest man to have ever walked the earth. Fun fact I say fun fact, but John Belushi was meant to actually play the role that Bill Murray played in Ghostbusters, Pete Vegman, but obviously he passed away because, as you know, Dan Aykroyd and John Belushi done loads together, Blues Brothers and things like that. And it's a weird one, isn't it? Because I love Bill Murray. I love Bill Murray as Pete Vegman, but it'd have been interesting to see if John Belushi would have been in Ghostbusters. But Slimer is actually based on John Belushi.
Interesting.
He is. He is. Dan Aykroyd kept him in the show by basing Slimer on John Belushi, and John Belushi was he's someone that was taken from us so young, and he was a great actor and a great comedian. Saturday Night Live with all of them, and I remember what was it? Trading Places. When he was dressed up as a gorilla.
Oh, yeah. It's I think for me though, Bill Murray is one of my favorite actors of all time. Honestly, so many films that he's been in. I love Bill Murray.
If someone said to me now, like, if you could tomorrow meet someone, and that'd be the only person you ever met for the rest of your life, Bill Murray would be up there.
He's good.
Yeah, that film where he crashed someone's wedding or what it was, and he got in. I don't know if you see the video, but he walked through and someone I can't remember if it was their stag do. No, it was their stag do. And he got in front of the camera and he was like, listen, what you want to do to decide if she's the one, take a trip around the world, go and see all these different countries. And if when you come back, you're still in love, then you marry her. And that was like prophetic. It was like, whoa, fucking Bill Murray. Like, love him to bits.
Yeah.
Legend. So,
yeah.
Seen anything, Scott?
Spitting Image, The Simpsons, or South Park?
I'd have to go Simpsons.
I've seen a bit of the new Spitting Image. It looks really good. But
that's my I'm a massive Simpsons fan. I love Simpsons.
Right, I'm sorry, but listen, we talk about shows that lost its way. Simpsons lost its way, man.
Oh yeah. I don't watch the new stuff. I always watch the old stuff of the Simpsons.
That's what I think is great about South Park. Is even today, it's still relevant. It's still funny. It's still raw. I'll
be honest. I've never watched South Park.
What?
I say that. That's a lie. I have seen episodes, but I just think Simpsons for me was. I just love the Simpsons.
I used to love Spitting Image, but South Park is brilliant. But me, I'm a big comedy guy, and I always have arguments with people about. I always have arguments, but I have debates with people. I mean, I love British comedy, and there's nothing better than British comedy. And I had this big row about the British Office versus the American Office, and I'm not having anyone say that the American office is better than the British office. I'm sorry, we do comedy better. Curb Your Enthusiasm.
I think what it is with British comedy is that it's so natural. I think the Americans try too much.
They force it, yeah. Like you look at Friends.
With British comedy, it's just natural. I mean, I've been to America a few times, and every time I go to America, they are obsessed with Monty Python, Mr. Bean. You know, they just love our comedy. And
I've been going back and watching a lot of Rick Mail as well recently.
Yeah,
Bottom, Young Ones, all.
While we're on the subject of comedy,
yeah,
another legend.
Yeah,
comedy.
Cannonball, obviously great.
Interesting one. Me and Jason having this debate, and he pointed out it seems to be the funniest ones of the duos die first. You know, like you had Morecambe and Wise die first. The two Ronnies, Ronnie Barker die first. Obviously, you know, and then Chuckle Brothers. Some people might say, I mean, Paul was more of the straight one. Barry was more, and he died first. So maybe there's a thing to it. These. I
think we're very blessed with British comedians, and we've all grown up with, and even you go back to Tommy Cooper, and we are. Yeah, someone's just said there, Lauren Hardy, Charlie Chaplin. We've always had that, and I don't think, and I'm not being biased here, but I don't think you can beat British humour. I think British humour, we love to take the piss out of ourselves. And that is what makes us so great as a nation. I mean, Americans are very touchy. You know, I've been to America a few times, and they're very they're funny but with British comedy, we will take the piss out of ourselves. Like us three will sit in there and take the piss out of ourselves. Americans don't do that.
Yeah, I think we have more of a fatalist attitude. They've got to be on the air of feel good, and it's got to make you feel good. Whereas ours, it's like the characters always just go through. You look Only Fools and Horses or something. It just always goes wrong for them. And it's funny. So thinking about this, the state of British comedy today, I was thinking about this. It's so disappointing because it is poor. Like I can't think of a single like these sitcoms that are on now, like comedy shows that are.
Do you know? I don't think he was even American. I think he was Canadian. I don't know. I'll have to check that out. But I used to love. Remember Ryan Stiles from Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Yeah,
skinny one.
Yeah, the American Colin, the bald one with Ryan Stiles.
I think he was Canadian. I think Ryan Stiles was American.
They were brilliant because they did the British one, and I think as well.
I used to love that one. I used to love Whose Line Is It Anyway was great.
Whose Line Is It Anyway was really good, really good. But that's the thing. You are right. A lot of these modern comedy shows they're just not very good anymore.
Yeah, like Mrs. I know it's not British. It's Irish technically. Mrs. Brown's Boys.
I don't get it. Oh, I've watched a few of them. I just don't get it.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Mrs. Brown's Boys. I'm the same. I don't really understand it, but
another one, Citizen Kite. It looks like a Mrs. Brown's Boys. I haven't seen too much of it, but it looks like one of them cheap catchphrase based comedy shows, rather than you look at what we had in the 70s and 80s and 90s, and with those classics that we had. You know, they just don't do it. It don't do it anymore. There's no good comedy shows like that, and it's just sad. It is really sad because
I think there's a few people commenting on some of those Steptoe and Son, and you know we've
Army, Horry,
Only Horses. You know, we've had Desmond's. Desmond's was a show, mate.
Yeah, Desmond's.
Young Ones are brilliant.
Yeah, Young Ones. I've been literally, and as well on Netflix, I've been going back and watching Bottom, like with Rick Mail and Adrian.
I think that is the one thing I can say about British humour is we can take the piss out of ourselves.
Yeah,
you know, and we don't get embarrassed by it. We can have a laugh, and it's speaking of that, has anyone seen Borat 2 yet?
No, I ain't seen it yet.
I'll be honest with you. I watched it the other night. It's not great, but it's worth watching.
Is it? Do you think it's too long to come out?
He looked old. He looked very old.
It's like Joe when they have a film that's really funny and really good, and then it takes them 10 years to make the second one, and then by the time they've made the second one, it just falls flat. I see that new Borat film.
when I went to New York, right, I was staying in a hotel there, and you know when you're looking around, you're thinking, oh, this looks familiar. So I googled it, and the hotel I stayed in was the hotel where in the first Borat film, remember when he gets out in the lift and he starts thinking that's his room.
Yeah.
He's like unpacking in the lift. That was the hotel that I stayed in, and it wasn't a great film, but it's worth watching because he's a talented actor. And hello.
Hello.
Yeah, even that, which I wouldn't rank it as one of the best. It was one I watched, and that was like, it's like what was that one? The other one, and it had what's her name from EastEnders? I think it had Pauline from EastEnders in it. Thingy.
Oh,
Are you being served? That was one. It's not great. It weren't great, but it was better when you hold it up against what it is now. Like, but yeah, someone said Alan Partridge, like fantastic, unbelievable.
I think the best comedians in the world come from Britain, without a doubt.
No ways about it. The only American comedy I love is Curb Your Enthusiasm, because it is so British about it. Like he's just the biggest arsehole, and he goes through all this shit, and there's all this awkwardness, and that's what I love about it. It's very Office. Like if you like The Office, you like that. And I love comedies where the main character is a complete prick. Like
Ryan Zombie says Little Britain was funny, and the thing is, like Little Britain today wouldn't get away with half the stuff they done there. But I think back in the time, Little Britain was funny because they just laughed at what was going on in Britain. And I think today you wouldn't get away with it. But I think listen, I love Little Britain. I went to see the stage show and I've got nothing bad to say against Little Britain. I think it was a great show. It was funny at the time. I just think now in today's times, they won't get away with half the stuff they done then. But that's the one thing. The one thing with British humour is we can laugh at things.
Yeah,
I don't think we do it as much now as we should. But yeah,
I'd hate to be a comedian now trying to get material.
Listen, I've been to see Jimmy Carr. He's one of my favourite comedians, and I've seen him a few times, and some of the things he said back in the day he wouldn't get away with now. But the thing is with you have to laugh at things. You have to laugh at certain things. We can all sit there. I mean, I've sat there with Jimmy Carr sometimes and thought, that's a bit on the edge. That's what comedy's about. As long as you don't overstep it, that's what comedy's about.
Yeah. Jimmy Carr, I've seen him, I think 3 times. He's absolutely brilliant.
I see him 3 days before my wedding.
The thing is, the only thing is with him, he seems like someone I could watch. I could like in short bursts, and he has the one-liners. But a whole show of that, I like comedians where they're spending a long time. They're building up to the jokes, and they're telling a story, and then they hit you with the punchline. They build up to. I love my favorite comedian is Stuart Lee. I love Stuart Lee, and it's just so out there. With Jimmy,
the best thing with Jimmy Carr is that he works off of the audience, so he wants heckled. And as soon as someone heckles him, that is it. That's the end of the show for them because they're getting roasted. And I've been to see Lee Evans. Let's see, Lee Evans is a very different type of comedy because he doesn't swear. He plays off of things like he will talk like Peter Kay. They'll talk about old school things.
Yeah, he just talks about his life, doesn't he? Like how he's missing.
They call it observational comedy, and there is a thing. There is a it's sort of maybe it's one of the things. It's sort of like a junk food thing. Sometimes it's very entertaining, but it's not as fulfilling. There's something about it's quite an easy thing. I'm not saying it's easy, like anyone can do it, but as a comedian, observational comedy, it's like, oh, do you remember this, or what's all that about type of comedy, rather than really interweaving jokes within jokes. And that's why I like Stuart Lee.
If you ever get a chance to watch it, right, Jimmy Carr, I'm sure it's Child Genius or something like that. When they do like the kids.
Oh yeah.
Like all the most intelligent like kids up against celebrities, and Jimmy Carr was the captain of the celebrity team. If you ever get a chance to watch that, Jimmy Carr in that is so funny, absolutely so funny, and it's just him being him. you know, it's just his natural way of the way.
One of the first times I see Jimmy Carr live was he done a show in the theatre down the road from me. It was like £15 a ticket.
Yeah.
And literally, I remember the day because it was the day that Arsenal played, I think it was Wigan, the FA Cup semi-final, and it overrun, so he delayed his show. But literally, he was on for about 3 hours, and he just done, because it was the build-up for his big tour, and he just done all his material. And I remember that we got about an hour in, no one said anything. Then the drinks started flowing. And he said, look, anyone wants to heckle me, heckle me.
Yeah.
And there was this woman sitting literally 2 rows in front of me. Big girl, you know, jolly.
Yeah.
And she shouted out, you're fucking shit. So the spotlight went on her. And he went, oh, excuse me, madam. He said, blah, blah, blah. He went, so what do you do for a living? And I'm thinking to myself, please be something normal. Please. And she went, I'm a representative for Slim Fast. And my head went down because she was a big girl. And I thought, you've just opened up a can of worms. And he ripped into her for about 20 minutes. But afterwards, he literally said after the show, he said, look, I'll be in the bar after if anyone wants to come and meet me. And I went round there and he true to his word. He stood there for about an hour talking to everyone after. I got my photo of him, got him to sign my program. And he was a great comedian.
He's good. He does yeah. I saw him there, and I've seen him at the Cliffs Pavilion twice. And,
I've seen him at the Indigo at the O2 a few times. Yeah, as I said, literally like 3 days before my wedding, and he does this thing where during his interval you can text in, and literally we text in saying we're getting married, thinking he ain't gonna read that out. He fucking only did. Oh mate, I was right. Jade was like, yeah. I was like, oh my god, please don't slag me off. Congratulations on the wedding and all things like that. So
it's one of them ones. I mostly like old stuff. I've heard of I've seen some Jim Jeffries. Jim Jeffries is the Australian bloke, isn't he?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I've seen some of them.
I've seen a few say, is it Jeff Dunham?
Yeah,
I've seen some of his stuff.
I've only seen some clips, but it seems a bit.
I'm trying to think who he is now. Is he the one with the
puppet guy?
Yeah. I was gonna. Yeah, I remember him in Vegas.
I don't know whether it seems like my cup of tea. You know, don't know if it seems like my thing.
Someone said, Ryan, you got married? No, I see him last year. He was at the O2 Indigo last year, 2019. Look, he was in this year. It was December when I get married, 7th. It was on the Thursday night, so it must have been the 5th of December.
Well,
yeah. You got married the day after me. I need to check now. I'm so glad my missus don't watch this. Yeah, I'm married on the 6th of December. You're married on the 7th.
Yeah, so that's it's so funny. We've got a big comedy marathon. Yeah, music and comedy.
Yeah, music
really
comedy.
Get into, man, for me.
Yeah, we don't want to talk about West Ham. Anyway, I think
the funniest thing, right, with all of us, right, is we've all got this massive passion for West Ham. Even Nicky and Graham, we all love movies. We all love the 80s. And we all love comedy. So this is the thing. We're
born in the 80s. Well, Graham was born in the 40s, but
we could start a side channel on all of our other bloody interests in it.
We could.
Post-film pint. After watching a movie, have a pint and review the film.
We've got a couple of minutes left. I think we should sort of preview the Liverpool game.
Oh shit, we ain't done that. Do we need to do that? Well, we kind of.
I'm hoping that it's a happy Halloween.
Yay! Do you know what the headlines write themselves, don't they? They write themselves.
I mean, look, as we said in the beginning of the show, it's a tough place to go, Anfield. We ain't had a good record there over the last 50 years. I think we won there once.
And they ain't lost there in too many times, or it's been a while since they lost it.
Even when you look back the last time we played there, even when it's funny watching it, it seemed weird seeing crowds there when we lost 3-2. When we was in a relegation battle, we was 2-1 up with 10 minutes to go. We could have won that game. But no, do you know what? I'm a bit confident going there tomorrow. I'll be happy with a point. But
do you know they've won 28 of their last 29 Premier League games at home?
Yeah.
Enter West Ham.
Listen, yeah. It's a difficult one because Liverpool, they're champions. It's a tough place to go, but they've got their injury. Van Dijk is a massive loss for them. Fabinho is a massive loss for them. So if we can, as long as we can show a bit of fight, passion like we did, because I think we will be defending a lot. But as long as we make it count when we get our chances, that's what's going to dictate this game. And the midfield as well. As long as Souček and Rice, they're up for that battle. I think we can get Tank out of this game. I think I think we're good enough for a point, but it wouldn't surprise me if we took all 3 tomorrow.
So what's your score prediction then, right?
Well, I'm going to go for what I've done in my weekly prediction. I predicted us to win 3-2, which a lot of people will probably think, nah, you're talking shit. But I don't know. I can see us nicking it tomorrow. I really can.
It can happen. I'm sticking with my what I said last night on Sports Bar was 2-2. I've said 2-2. I see someone else said 2-2 in the chat.
He's gone for the Desmond 2-2.
Yeah, Robert said 2-2. Yeah, so that's what I've gone for. 2-2 draw, which I will snatch your round off. I'd snatch your hands off for a boring 0-0, mate.
Oh yeah, listen. I'll be over the moon if we come out there with a point tomorrow.
Yeah.
It builds confidence.
Yeah, I'm hopeful we can get something, but I've got a feeling we're going to lose this one. I'm going 2-1 Liverpool.
Preview.
Sorry, I'm going 2-1 Liverpool. So yeah, I just think that the loss of Antonio, I don't think we're going to get it right tomorrow, and I think we can't hold out. So
Brad Bills, I know you two are not big boxing fans, and I know Nicky's not a big boxing fan, but I am a big boxing fan. And Chisora versus Usyk tomorrow. I don't know if you see the photos of Usyk. He's obviously Yarmolenko's giving him a West Ham shirt, so I was sort of swaying towards him, but I don't know. It's a tough fight because Derek Chisora can bang, and I just think that Usyk coming at 15 odd stone and Chisora's 18 odd stone. If he leans on him a bit, I don't know. I can see an upset tomorrow, and I can see Chisora beating him. I really can. And I'm a big Usyk fan. When he beat Bellew, but I can see Chisora maybe causing an upset tomorrow. He's looking in great shape. He's 18 stone, but he's fit. He's in great shape. And
Chisora looks in really good shape, compared to how he has been before, from what I've seen.
Someone says, "Yeah, I'm a boxing fan," which is why I don't watch Chisora fight. I think he's a bit underrated. He's been in some great battles down here. I mean, I remember watching him at Upton Park when he fought David A. And now to think that them two who hated each other, David Hayes' his manager now. I think it'll be a great fight tomorrow. I hope it goes over 7 rounds. I really do, but I don't know. Chisora can bang, and it proved in the last fight with Dylan White. It only takes one shot. It only takes one shot, and you're on the floor, and that's what I love. That is why heavyweight is my favorite division. I love seeing 2 heavyweights, and I'm not looking forward to Tyson versus Roy Jones Jr. much, to be fair, but
I'm gonna watch that fight because I'm gonna test out my new thing on my Fire Stick. So we'll see.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch that as well.
Your new thing, eh? What's this thing, eh?
Let's see how it turns out before I start.
That's why I want to get post-match time done. That's why I want to get post-match time quick tomorrow.
Yeah, that's it.
But the ring walk will probably be about 10:30 anyway. So
it can't be too late. I need it to be early. But yeah, no, I'll watch that one tomorrow. We'll watch that one tomorrow.
But yeah, anyways, that's it. I think for the 3 of us, we've done very well. 2 hours 13. I thought we dragged that out quite well.
Nicky will pop in now, wouldn't he?
I think about 1:45 was on the 80s music and films, but
still Nicky didn't show up. I thought he would pop in and he popped in last week, but we ain't seen him this week. I think his Graham's not on. That's why Nicky's not.
Fred just said he's 19 stone. How do you want him to move? For fuck's sake! Listen, I've seen 25 stone boxers move quick. Trust me, Derek Chisora will move. And plus, when you're that weight, you don't have to move. You got the power. You got the chin. You let them come onto you. And listen, Usyk's a great fighter, but it's a big step up for him. And I just think Chisora tomorrow will cause an upset. I really do.
Oh, Matt Passer, don't forget my T-shirt. Are we owing Matt a T-shirt?
Yeah, we'll get him a
Then
t-shirt.
we need to get that sorted.
On Twitter. We'll sort you out something, mate. Scott will sort you out. He's a
Yeah.
t-shirt king.
I'm just saying, if we're owing you, if you're owed any merch or anything that you were supposed to get, then just DM us and let us know.
Candyman says Joshua lost a fatty bum bum, and that is it, mate. You don't always have to be an athlete in boxing.
No, you got to end it there. That's how it's got to end it.
But
There we go.
thank you so much for joining us tonight. It's been 2 hours and 14 minutes and 39 seconds. But yeah, as always, keep subscribing to the channel. Tomorrow we're going to watch along with young Dan Lawless and old Nicky Hawkins.
Mm-hmm.
What we got after
I might come on the watch along. See how my internet. Do you know what? Right, I've jinxed my internet since I said my Virgin internet was really good. I've been doing speed tests daily. Like,
you got to go with Sky, mate. Sky never lets me down, mate.
Mate, I'm paying for 200 meg. Yeah, the other day I got 7.
That's a piss take, mate. That is a piss take.
That's where you're going wrong, mate.
Words, mate.
Yeah, it's
I might will be back. We'll watch along with maybe Scott if he's Wi-Fi.
If he can be bothered.
Then we've got fan cams, and then we've got post-match Pint. Will be shortly after. So yeah, join us for that. Nicky will hopefully be back for that tomorrow. But yeah, thank you so much, everyone in the chat, for joining in. Thank you to Dan and Scott for joining us tonight.
Been fun, boys. As per usual, good laugh.
Yeah, it's been a good laugh tonight. It's what I love about Friday night. You know, we just sort of let our hair down a bit. Oh, sorry, Dan, but or facial hair for Dan.
Yeah.
No, we let our hair down a bit. We've been doing this since March now. We just have a little Friday night. We can't all meet up in the pub, but we sort of sit here, everyone in the chat, and yeah, we love it.
Our missus is doing some madness.
I think Dan missus is having a party in the background now. Swing the camera around, Dan.
Do you know what? She's basically, she just threw a tissue in the bin from distance and she's celebrating. Like,
no, I think she's
the winner.
She's happy that this show is over now, Dan.
Yeah, she's like, thank fuck for that. Listening to you talk shit for 2 hours.
That's right. The fucking West Ham fan TV talk shit for 2.5 hours.
Yeah. Oh my god.
But it's been great, boys. It's been great.
Yeah, we'll leave it there.
Yes, I will.
What's that?
Yes. Is Dan going to do a water facial if we score? Yes. I bloody will.
That's got to go. You need to update the West Ham fan TV channel video and put that as the main highlight.
Oh yeah, that's got to be in
I
there.
don't know what was happening. I thought you was having a fit at one point.
I felt like it.
That's what West Ham does to us.
That's it, mate. That's it.
Anyway, thank you so much for everyone in the chat joining us tonight. Scott, one thing left to say.
Come on, you irons.
Come on, you eyes. See you tomorrow.